Americans were on the speedboat. They exchanged fire with Cuban forces on the island's coast. The latest next from CBS News. Sports Bulls hosting the Trailblazers at the UFC tonight. Blackhawks on the road to take on Predators. On Wall Street, the Dow added 17, NASDAQ and S&P both posted losses. AccuWeather says clear tonight, low around freezing. Right now, CBS News at 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A White House official confirms to CBS News that at least 2 American citizens were aboard a stolen speedboat shot at by Cuba's Coast Guard yesterday. At least 1 of the 4 killed and 1 of the 6 injured were U.S. citizens. It was first reported by Axios. CBS's Christian Benavides.
Cuba says it also seized assault rifles, handguns, Molotov cocktails, and bulletproof vests from the boat, alleging the group had intentions of carrying out terrorism. The U.S. has yet to verify those claims.
Warner Brothers deems CBS News parent company Paramount Skydance's takeover bid as superior to Netflix. Netflix has 4 business days to counter. A Columbia University student who was detained by federal agents this morning at one of its dorms has been released. On campus, this student says of the atmosphere,
everyone is very nervous. Everyone is very scared. Students are literally hiding in their dorms right now because they're afraid to come outside.
CBS's Jared O'Chalcher says Columbia University is taking steps to educate those on campus on how to deal with this type of situation.
That includes a webinar that's happening today on immigration policy and laws, and also more public safety patrols that are being deployed to residential buildings around campus.
The detention has prompted a peaceful protest at Columbia University this afternoon. A day before former President Clinton is to be deposed, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton testifies before a House committee in connection with the investigation into late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Allison Keyes.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says she didn't know about Epstein's criminal activities and says the committee should be questioning President Trump under oath. Ranking member Robert Garcia says he demands
that we ask President Trump to testify in front of our committee.
Garcia says Hillary Clinton is answering all questions and continues to demand that the press be allowed into the deposition. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Iran and the U.S. held a 3rd round of talks today in Geneva. Our Cami McCormick with that.
Iran's foreign minister described the talks as some of the most intense yet and the longest. Oman's foreign minister, who was mediating, said there had been significant progress and technical talks would begin next week in Vienna. That's the home of the International Atomic Energy Agency, the UN's watchdog agency that would be critical in any deal, but there are no signs of that.
A new state law impacting transgender residents is now in effect in Kansas. CBS's Stacey Lynn reports.
The measure requires state IDs to reflect the sex assigned at birth and forces affected residents to pay for their replacements. The new law affects more than 1,000 residents in the state. Civil rights groups say legal challenges are likely.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:03 Thursday, February 26th. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for being with us today. I'm Andy Dane in for Lisa Fielding. Right now, partly cloudy skies in Chicago, 40 degrees. AccuWeather says coming clear later on this evening, a low right around freezing. A very different looking day tomorrow, and in a good way. Sunshine, breezy, a high right in the low to mid 60s. Enjoy it while you can. Could see some snow over the weekend. We'll have the details in our 5-day forecast coming up at 4:15. First, our top local story here on News Radio WBBM. Executives for the Chicago Bears have a lot to think about this afternoon, following action by lawmakers in Indiana and Illinois on measures aimed at securing a brand new stadium. WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles reports on a busy day in Springfield and Indianapolis.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun has signed into law a measure that clears the way for the Hoosier State to essentially borrow money to build a new stadium in Northwest Indiana. South Bend area State Senate Republican Ryan Mishler sponsored the bill.
Most of the people from Illinois called me or wrote me and said that, it'd actually be easier for us to get to games in Northwest Indiana.
And a State House committee in Illinois approved that so-called mega project bill that would let the Bears or any developer lock in long-term property tax payments. The sponsor is Chicago State House Democrat Ken Buckner, who says it could provide a boost to the whole state.
This is something that the Bears could benefit from, obviously, absolutely. But for those of us who represent the city, I think we've been very clear that we have questions that are still left unanswered.
The full House adjourned until March 18th without a vote on the bill. The Bears issued statements of appreciation for both actions. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9, WBDM.
We continue to honor the life and legacy of the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Today marking the first of 2 visitation days at the headquarters of Rainbow Push, the nonprofit Jackson founded in 1996. Hundreds continue to line up and pay their respects, including Katanya Stone-Wooten, who says she was inspired by Jackson.
Oh, yes. When he came to my school, South Shore High School, it was either 76 or 77, as I'm dating myself. But yes, but it was so inspiring, and I never, ever forget it. I never forget. And I would think about that. I am somebody. I am somebody.
A public viewing runs until 9 o'clock tonight. His body will lie in repose for a second day tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Well, some Cook County high school students getting the chance to cast their first ever ballots right inside of their own schools.
As part of the first of its kind Cook County program, early voting is now available at 24 suburban high schools, giving eligible students and staff the opportunity to cast their Illinois primary ballots on campus. Under the state law, 17-year-olds who will turn 18 by Election Day in November can register and vote in both the primary and general elections. By 2 p.m. Thursday, 800 students had already voted.
By entrusting young adults with this meaningful civic responsibility, we are strengthening today's election and cultivating tomorrow's defenders of democracy.
Cook County Clerk Monica Gordon says they
You're
have
blocking traffic, my brother. You're blocking traffic.
To help manage voter check-in, ballot processing, and equipment under staff supervision. For some seniors like Jasmine Gordon at Hillcrest High School, it's a way to get their peers involved.
Being able to do this and inspire people to vote, it makes me feel very happy.
Illinois primary election is set for March 17th. Lynn Marshall, News Radio 105.9, WBDM.
A Chicago couple that lost their son to suicide, pledging millions in the fight against bullying.
Nate Bronstein attended the prestigious Latin School of Chicago and was the victim of cyberbullying. He committed suicide in 2022. He was 15 years old. Nate's parents, Rose and Rob Bronstein, have already donated $7.8 million to their family foundation's flagship program, Buckets Over Bullying, a nod to Nate's love of basketball. Now the foundation says it will reach a total of $15 million to support an ongoing anti-cyberbullying initiative, with the rest of the money to reach that $15 million mark donated by the end of 2028. Terry Keschner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM. 2 people severely injured in a crash in the Jane Addams Memorial Tollway.
What's up, Johnny Boom Boom? I'll give you let me talk to you after the news is over, all right? Hold on.
West of Route 47. Investigators say a semi-trailer truck and a car were both involved in that accident. 2 people had to be extricated from the car. They suffered life-threatening injuries. Illinois State Police say they continue to look into the cause of the crash. 4:08, time now for traffic and weather together on the 8. And here's Lisa Constantine.
We're dealing with the crash on the Stevenson inbound. You are solid now from I-355 to Route 83. That crashes in a lane, and then you've got heavy spots. Harlan to Pulaski. Metro reminds you to...
You around or what? What are you doing, Johnny? Let me give you a call. Or why don't you call me up? Why don't you get on the show? Let's start it off differently rather than me yapping all the time. Let's see. Do I got you? Call my old number. I think I got you under Boom Boom. Let me double check here. You want to get on? Johnny Boom Boom. Let me give you a call. You want to get on Boom Boom or what? Hey, what's up, Johnny Boom Boom? We got Johnny Boom Boom on, the YouTube extraordinaire from Chicago, man. I figure, you know what? Get him. I haven't talked to you in a while. We want to check in with you. He's the bacon man. He takes bacon to Muslim mosques. It says, and he goes, "Hey man, you want some bacon? You want some breakfast?" and all the Muslims say, we're not pirates. And I'm like, no, I didn't call you a Somali, man.
Wrong part, completely different.
What's up, my brother? What you working on?
Nothing, just finishing up my car.
Oh, yeah. What is it? Anything that you want the viewers to know that you're working on? Any issues you work on? I know you put on there flip red. Why don't you tell people what flip red means? I explain that to you. Because you know what? We take both sides here, and why don't you explain to everybody what that movement's about? Johnny Boom Boom is gonna let me tell you. Johnny Boom Boom is going to talk to you about what flip red means. Okay, go ahead, Johnny. I'll give you the floor.
Okay, well, it's a group in Chicago trying to pretty much get rid of Brandon Johnson and flip Chicago from voting blue and making these policies that are destroying the city and try to flip it red to make the city better and try to have the Democrats stop continuously winning in bogus elections in Chicago.
What do you mean red and blue? What does red and blue mean?
Democrats and Republicans.
And who's blue and who's red?
Democrats are blue, Republicans are red.
Oh, you mean you're a communist? Red? What the hell, you damn commies?
I know, it just says people not being homeless on the streets and fucking bogus money being spent.
Well, explain.
All them immigrants.
Explain. Why don't you explain the homeless issue? What's your guys' position? What is? Because you're a Republican, it sounds like. You're a MAGA. And by the way, I love Johnny Boom Boom. He's a great-ass MAGA. He's not what a weird... There's a lot of MAGAs out there that are weird. Even Johnny Boom Boom said some of the MAGAs are weird. But Johnny Boom Boom's like a regular MAGA. He's a worker. He grew up in Chicago. He works hard. He works on cars. He's a good man. So explain to the people what your guys' position on homelessness. Because people think MAGAs are mean and you want to, kill the homeless people and all that.
Before the American citizens that are homeless should be taken care of before all these fucking Venezuelans are getting put in fucking nice-ass fucking buildings like the ones that's vacant on Elston right now.
So you're saying you're a MAGA and you're like, you want the American government to take care of homelessness.
Of course.
I just put a video up about homelessness and people started yelling at me that I'm insensitive and this, and they take care of them. I said, well, how are you taking care of them when they're sleeping on a CTA station? That's not taking care of a homeless person.
No, that's not. That's not giving them a place to live, but they could get people from Venezuela fucking nice-ass meals and put them up in fucking these nice-ass buildings like 28, what was it? What's that one on Elston? Whatever the address was.
1300 Elston by the salt shed over there. Well,
by Morton Salt.
So why don't you explain that to people? Because I don't think people understand Republicans or MAGAs. They think they're mean. Explain one more time your position on homelessness. And don't talk about the migrants. We get that. You want them to... But what would you like the government to do with homeless people? What do you see that?
Help them and give them housing.
There
give them housing, give them a way to fucking have some type of life instead of living out on the street.
But isn't that welfare? You see where I'm going with this, Johnny? See, people mischaracterize MAGAs because of what the liberal media say. So here it is. I'm telling you, Johnny Boom Boom's got a... Do you know how I met Johnny Boom Boom? We met at an abandoned place. We won't tell you where it's at. It's the one where they're climbing the smokestack last week. That's yeah, you seen that. That was us. Me and Johnny Boom Boom, that just say allegedly, we were over there too before.
Allegedly. We were up there before then.
Allegedly.
I don't know about you allegedly. I had no problem saying I was there.
So this is how I met Johnny Boom Boom. I don't know if I was interviewing. There was a homeless lady sleeping under the bridge there. And then, I don't know, I heard some voices or something. I looked, and there's a dude with a Trump mask behind me, and I'm like, oh man, am I gonna have to kill this guy and throw him in the river? Because that's right on the river over there. And then, I don't know, weirdo. He's running around with a Trump mask in an abandoned area and with homeless people. And I don't know, me and him just hit it off. And then we both interviewed a homeless lady living underneath the bridge over there. So that's how I met Johnny Boom Boom. I met him wearing a Trump mask, but if you listen to him, he talks about the homeless. What about the drug addiction? What's your idea on these drugs and drug addiction? We got the bombing the boats, but what do you see the country doing to help drug addicts or people get off the drugs? What do you see that as?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, get off. If somebody wants to get off of drugs, well, how the government should help them.
Give them what they need, like a place to stay, or just however, like, whatever, like, I don't know, like, it depends on what each person's different.
So, see, that's what I'm trying to get out here on our show. And I know I might have caught Johnny off guard there a little bit, but you see, he didn't just say, forget them. He didn't say, F the homeless. See, the liberals try to say that the Republicans say F the homeless. What did Johnny just say? He said, help the addicted however they want. And I'm telling you, go to his YouTube page. He is a MAGA. Johnny is a MAGA.
Oh, yeah.
And did you hear him? He said, take care of the homeless and take care of the addicted. What do you think about the economy? What should we be doing about the economy? How should we fix this for jobs on? What's your idea on that stuff? Got any on that?
We got to stop the AI. The AI is getting bad.
Really? So what you thinking about that? How should we stop it?
I don't know. That's what I've been thinking about that AI. It's like, look, you got them DoorDash robots driving around everywhere. You can't even do DoorDash.
You seen me following them the other day, right?
Yeah, did you see they got the Waymos here, the self-driving cars?
What are those? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, they got them all over California. They're like cars where there's nobody in the driver's seat, and they're going to eliminate all the like Ubers and taxis because it's going to be a robot driving it. They already got them in California.
So listen again. What I want to show everybody here, and I'm sorry if I'm talking this way, Johnny. I want our shows and our people to feel free to say whatever they want. This is a straight up, and I'll say one more time, Johnny is a MAGA. He'll tell you that. He's got Trump hats. He goes to Trump rallies. He does all kinds of stuff. He just told you, help the homeless, help the addicted, get rid of AI. And like, wait up, that sounds more like a Democrat, don't it? There's not that much of a difference between Democrats and Republicans. There's a really fine line. And what happens is the media, right? The media messes with people, don't they, Johnny?
Yeah, there's a huge difference between the Democrats in Minnesota, though. Don't get that twisted. There's a huge difference between. They're on a whole nother level.
What do you mean?
All the scamming they're doing, fucking. They got, man. We got to go to Minnesota, open up a daycare. 15 billion or whatever. I'm in the wrong business. I got to open up some daycares in Minnesota.
You make sure you spell learning the right way, okay? And what do you think about, and here's one of the things that everybody should know about Johnny. He's a YouTuber. He does YouTube. He's a lot more better YouTubing than I am. And he does long format YouTubing, meaning he does live feeds like I do with the driving, but he does two things. He does car stuff. He loves cars. He's a car guy. The second thing he does a lot of, how long are some of your interviews with the migrants? An hour or two sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah. Some of them are real long.
Johnny Boom Boom is one of the only people in Chicago. He might be the only one who actually interviewed migrants.
I think I'm the only non-migrant that made it inside an immigrant shelter. Unwelcome.
Yeah. Johnny Boom Boom's been, how many shelters have you been in? 2 or 3? 2 or 3?
Inside, I've actually been in 2.
You were the one in the Marines, where the Marine
base. One I went in, but I got real deep in the one on Elston.
So Johnny Boom Boom's been the only American U.S. reporter that's been inside of migrant shelters. And he's got the videos on his page. I have some of his video clips on my page. I have to reissue them. But he's got long format too. And he does hour or 2 hour long live feeds like I do. People complain about my live feeds. I say, well, no, we all do all good live feeders, whether you YouTube, TikTok, I don't know how long TikTok, but all of us that do this for, like, I don't know, I wanted to say for a living because we do it for fun. We like it doing it. We do it for an hour or 2 or 3 sometimes, right? I mean, you should see some of his interviews. I mean, you're still in contact with Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, I talked to him. Yeah, he's in a pretty nice place.
Where's he? He's in Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, he's on a farm with, like, nice-ass exotic animals. He's farming.
So we have direct contacts with migrants here, and we make his name Costa Rica, so you don't know who he is. But he told us everything that's going inside of the migrant shelters. He tells us how he got here. He tells us all of the voting stuff. Didn't he say they wanted him to vote, right?
Yeah, they wanted him to vote. Yeah.
So we have a migrant look, he's mine and Johnny Boom Boom's friend. He's more Johnny's friend, but I know him too. This guy's our friend. He's a migrant. He's an illegal migrant. He came here illegally. He crossed the border illegally, and we regularly talk to him. And he's back in Costa Rica. Did he leave on his own, or did he get deported?
No, he got deported. He came back, and then he left on his own. Or no, he left on his own the first time. I forgot. One of the time he came back twice. One time he left. The other time he got deported. I forgot which time was which.
So again, I'm going to say it one more time, my brother. Here's a MAGA. Johnny Boom Boom's a MAGA, and he has a friend who's a migrant who crossed the border illegally. And we talk to him regularly because he talks us. Because why? Because we believe he's a human. Is he illegal and should be deported? Yes. But we talk to him because we want to know what's going on. You see how they mischaracterize, the media mischaracterizes everybody. And that's why I love Johnny, because me and him get along so strong. And tell us a little bit about Costa Rica, what he showed you, all the things he showed us.
Oh yeah, he showed me I got the video still. They sent me a video where the Chicago police were looking for some migrant who killed somebody. That was at the YMCA one on the north side by Devon and Western. Or Toohey and Western. It's by Toohey and Western. And then he went to a school on the south side too. He got some videos that he sent me too of the cops up in there.
So think about it. Didn't Brandon Johnson say Sanctuary City, the cops ain't supposed to bother migrants? But our friend Costa Rica sent us videos showing cops inside the migrant shelter. So you see, that's why you have to talk to people. You can't just, because you label them or you think they're a certain way, you cannot talk to them. If we were against migrants, or if the truth was, oh yeah, all MAGAs hate migrants, then we would never know this, because he wouldn't talk to us, but we don't care. It's not our job to deport people. We're not ICE. Right? We're not ICE. Right. So this guy, we know him, we befriended him when we talked to him. I remember when I met him. It was off that bus over there at Des Plaines. That's where I met Costa Rica. And that's how
I met him too.
And but you see what I'm trying to tell the audience here is we are made to be separated by the media. We're told, oh, he's a bad guy, she's a bad guy, he's this, he's that. No, that's not how life goes. We're all human beings. And we should all work together. And if he needs to be deported, he gets deported. Like we just said, Costa Rica was deported. Hey, that's his problem. That ain't our problem. He even told us how he got home and how he got back, right?
Yeah. And not only that, he told me about how they were scamming the fuck out of them and just using them for money.
What do you mean? Why don't you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, like how pretty much obviously all the money wasn't going to them. They were getting a lot of it. Whoever was running those shelters became very, very rich. Let's put it like that.
What do you mean by that? Why don't you explain that a little bit to people?
So they got housed, they got paid, they could only stay in each shelter for 60 days. After 60 days, they had to get moved to another shelter. So they each by putting the people at each shelter for 60 days each shelter got to get paid off one person for 60 days through, let's say, 30 shelters, kind of like what's going on in Minnesota, but a little different, I guess.
So it was a money scam. It wasn't like a humanitarian scam.
Yeah, it wasn't really to help them. They didn't give a shit about those people.
Because we have videos. There's videos on my page and on Johnny Boom Boom
I
page.
actually got a video of it, one of the parks where fucking the guy's literally talking shit, saying they're stupid, they can't speak English, the workers.
Oh, are you serious? On your page? Tell people your page's address. How do you get to your page?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Just type in Johnny, Johnnny, Smosky, Smoski, and you'll see a little picture of a U.S. flag, I think. Yeah.
And again, we're talking to Johnny Boom Boom. He's a YouTuber extraordinaire. He loves cars. He's got 2 or 3 years of interviews with migrants. and we have an inside person, we named him in Costa Rica, who was inside the shelters, and he just told you the shelter system was a scam, kind of like the Somali parlors in Minneapolis. It wasn't about, like in Minneapolis, daycare, it's about the numbers to get money from the government, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and then
they got all that funding just so like the whoever's. I wish I opened up a shelter. Honestly, I would have kept people like me with a 10-foot pole away.
But you know, the difference between the shelter workers that Johnny's talking about and Johnny himself is if you look at his videos, look at him. He's sitting in his car, or he's sitting outside, he's smoking, he's eating with the migrants. He has where he brings the migrant soda pops. He gives them cigarettes. And you know, do you know any Spanish, Johnny Boom Boom?
No, not one word.
Imagine someone who don't speak English and he's got a 2-hour video talking to a migrant. That's Johnny Boom Boom. That's him.
I was using the translating app through my phone.
But think about it. How can someone have a conversation for 2 hours with somebody if they didn't care about them? If they didn't think they had value? Do you understand what I'm trying to put that out here for the people watching and for the video that I'm making here? Because people are nasty, especially the news. The news media is really nasty and filthy. They make us to be enemies, and they make us hate each other when we don't. When we're all the same, there's nothing difference between us and Costa Rica. And Johnny always shows me stuff and talks about Costa Rica. Costa Rica has a pretty good life in Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, very good. From what I saw, I was on a video call with him like in the last month. It looked pretty nice where he was at.
And Johnny Boom was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go over there."
For real. He was showing me exact animals and shit. I was like, God damn, bro, that looks like not that bad. I don't know why you even left.
So these are the perspectives that we gotta start talking about. Is why are we told to hate each other? Why do people lie about each other, right? And the last thing is, and I think the bigger thing is why do we have Somali pirates? Why do we have these people who steal? And you know what? Those Somalis, I bet you they didn't make that much money. It's what you said. It's the people that were running those spaces above them that were making money. They just used those Somalis, most of them, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. All those fake children.
Yeah, they use the Somali to get the Somali kids. They don't care about the Somalis or the kids, right?
No, not at all.
It's just
especially Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
You tell people to go hurt themselves in front of ICE, you're the problem.
Yeah, that's why. That's a cop, right? So why don't you tell us about the bacon incident? What'd you do with the bacon there? Why don't you tell us about that story?
No, I brought my dog into the mosque, and they didn't like that very much. Apparently, if you bring a dog into a Muslim mosque, you're seen as the devil.
So where'd you do this, and why'd you do this, and what gave you that idea?
I went to Dearborn, Michigan to see if the Muslims were really taking over, like how I saw with that Jake guy. And yeah, they are. I mean, I didn't get to hear the call of prayer. I don't know if I was there at the right time, but there's a bunch of, like, I saw like 2 or 3 Jewish mosques that were abandoned, and it's all Muslim mosques there.
So
we had a big one too.
So basically, Johnny Boom Boom, he travels. And like I said, go to his YouTube page. You're going to see a lot of the stuff he does. He does some cool stuff. And he went to, where was it? Dearborn, Michigan, because there was a bunch of activism going on that people are saying that the Muslims were taking it over, and you went there, right? And what kind of a dog do you have? What'd you take into the mosque? It was your dog or a rental dog?
No, my dog. I got. You haven't seen I got a puppy.
Oh, do you? What kind?
It's what's it called? It's husky mixed with supposedly Belgian Shepherd, but I think it's German Shepherd.
Oh, I thought you had like a poodle or something like that.
Oh no! It's not gonna get bit.
You're not a poodle guy or what?
No, hell no.
So you took this husky German Shepherd into a Muslim mosque. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, they got angry. They didn't like that.
Yeah,
they didn't like that. You know? The guy started screaming at me. I was scared they were going to call the police on me or something crazy. And since I was like, I'm in a town I'm not familiar with, I wasn't trying to get arrested, so I got up out of there.
So, were you afraid they're going to eat the dog, or they don't eat?
Oh, no, I was more afraid of getting arrested by the cops, because when I was watching in that video with Jake, it seemed like the cops were more on the, like, Muslim side than they were of, like, the Americans.
So what did they do, just yell at you, tell you to get out of the mosque?
Oh, no, he chased me all the way out the parking lot, the guy.
Because of the dog, right?
Yeah.
All right. Did you
I'm
tell?
going back there soon. When I'm finished my car, I'm going back there.
So what did you tell him you were doing? Why did you do it? Did you have it? Did you try?
When it started snowing, I told the guy, I'm just trying to get out the cold, man. I'm just going for a walk with my dog. And he started screaming all crazy at me. I'm like, bro, he's like, what are you doing? Why are you in here? Why are you in there? I'm like, bro, it started snowing out. I'm like, it's a blizzard out there. I'm just trying to get out the cold. I didn't go back to my car. I had my girl pull the car out of the lot because I didn't want him to see what kind of car I was in.
All right, so. Well, there you go. That's Johnny Boom Boom. I wanted to get him on because I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell the better? I'm going to put on the 4:30 news here. Anything you want to tell anybody and tell people how to find your page? Make sure you tell them.
Yeah, just go on YouTube and type in Johnny, Johnnny, Smosky, Smoski. I have some good stuff coming soon.
All righty. This Johnny Boom Boom, I call him. He's a great YouTuber. Go to his page if you want to.
Check it out.
If you really want to, if you want to see what migrants are about, go there. They talk about their life. They talk about how they got here. There's really long interviews that Johnny did.
Yeah, I got some good stuff on there.
All right, take it easy, Johnny. It's good talking to you. Say hello to your girlfriend, all right?
I will. Good talking to you, too.
All right, brother. Take it easy. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm going to put on the news, guys, all right?
About expanding his offensive game. And on Tuesday, Mata scored 32 points.
I think if you look at really, really good offensive players in this league and scorers in this league, they're hard to guard because you're not quite sure what they're going to do. You know, are they going to go by you? Are they going to step back? Are they going to shoot a three? Are they going to shot fake? And it's hard. And I've tried to talk to Modest that he's got to be a lot more shiftier and craftier with the basketball.
Donovan says it's not a full green light. He wants Bazelis to eliminate one-legged fallback shots, but the overall plan, get open and shoot, even if it's further from the hoop than you'd planned. Covering the Bulls, Rick Gregg, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Bulls and Blazers on our sister station tonight, 104.3 The Score. Hockey, the Olympic break is history. Team USA, of course, won the gold. The Blackhawks back on the ice tonight in Nashville. Hawks trying to get back in the playoff picture. They are second to last in the Central. Spring training baseball in Tempe. The Cubs trailing the Angels now 5-4 in the seventh. 3 perfect innings for Matthew Boyd. That's the good. The bad, their best pitching prospect, Jackson Wiggins, 5 earned runs in an inning and a third. White Sox and Dodgers in Glendale. The Dodgers have taken a 7-5 lead on this one. Sean Newcomb started, 2 earned in 2 innings. Tanner Murray, a 2-run homer for the White Sox. Max Scherzer, the future Hall of Famer, re-signing with the Blue Jays. A 1-year deal worth $3 million with up to $10 million in performance bonuses based on innings pitched. One NFL note from the Combine, the Colts quarterback, former first-rounder Anthony Richardson, has requested a trade, and that request has been granted by the Colts. They have given him permission to find a suitor. I'm Mike Esposito from 104.3 The Score and News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
I'm Mike. Thank you. 418 traffic and weather together on the 8, sponsored by Plumbers 911. And here's Lisa Costi.
A new crash on the Eisenhower outbound. You are jammed.
418. That's the wrong time, everybody. Let's clock that. Can somebody comment, Marietta, what time you have on your clock? WBBM just said it's 4:18. That's the wrong time. I have it's 4:32. Can somebody put that in the comments? What time do you see from me? I appreciate that. I have 4:39. So right now, WBBM said it's 4:18. They're off, what, 10 minutes or so? Can somebody please put that in? Marietta, what time you got there? Can you type in the time for me?
From I-355 to DeSawa Lakeshore Drive. On your outbound side of the Stevenson, you're having the Dan Ryan.
There you go.
38 to
so they just said it's 4:18.
An hour to get you out.
So there you go. WBBM, that's the 3rd time in a month or so we found them giving us the wrong time.
27th to before 95th.
I'm going to have to send them a letter.
And still slow Cermak to the Eisenhower on your southbound side of the Tri-State.
You know, they're doing a lot of layoffs at those news medias. WGN laid off 9 people. Rona Tumulty was laid off. I know her. I met her a few times on crime scenes.
They'll get the job done right the first time. For 24/7 emergency service, call 833
You guys all heard that, right?
Clear skies for this evening. Low right about.
What's up, Ms. Isidore?
Much different day tomorrow. Sunshine, breezy, a high of 62.
62 tomorrow, everybody. 62.
Much different day for Saturday. Really night and day between tomorrow and Saturday. Saturday, a cloudy, cold day with snow in the afternoon. Maybe a coating to an inch, depending on where you are. A high of only 36 down to 30 for a high on Sunday. Right now, it's partly sunny, 40 degrees at O'Hare and Lakefront, 42 at Midway. The market's mostly lower today. The Dow added 17 points. The Nasdaq down 274. The S&P 500 lost 37.
Your events are 0726.
Our top story this hour, crowds of mourners gathering on Chicago's South Side, paying their respects to the Reverend Jesse Jackson. We'll have much more on the story coming up at 4:31. Well, state transportation officials say a major construction project is now in the home stretch, but drivers could see new delays as soon as next.
So he said it's 4:31 when it's 4:41 now. They're 10 minutes off, right? There you go. They're 10 minutes off. WBBM is actually 10 minutes off their time. That's bad. Something must be going on with that radio station, so that's not good. Whatever. Hey, Marietta, you want me to call you up? You want to check in? Tell us what you're working on this week? Where are you at, Marietta? Let's see where you're at here. I don't know. Like I said, 2026 is going to be a different year. And
the two West suburban men are accused of staging an elaborate crime, and now they're the ones charged.
Prosecutors say two men filed false police reports claiming they were robbed of more than $1 million in jewelry. 46-year-old Peshman Yayavi of Glendale Heights and 30-year-old Mahmoud Bashang of Naperville are both charged. DuPage County prosecutors say one of the men drove off the road and had the other call 911 claiming they've been robbed by three people. The cops say the men claimed to be jewelry vendors who were carrying up to $2 million worth of jewelry, including gold. Emergency personnel from three suburbs responded to the call of the car off the road. Prosecutors say it was all determined to be staged. Cisco Kodo News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The entire Loyola Academy student section removed during a girls' basketball championship game this week. The Evanston Township High School, who the team was playing, say it happened after a spectator shouted a racist remark at a student athlete. ETHS says it's committed to protecting its students and confronting racism whenever it occurs. Business news coming up in 60 seconds. It's 4:22.
Your heat seems to be running a lot.
4:22.
Why?
So they're 20 minutes behind now. I have 4:42. The BBBM just said it's 4:22. So they're behind. So what we'll do is we'll try to catch them on the 5 o'clock news.
You can get them with zero down, zero monthly payments, and zero interest.
Let's do this. See if you're around, Marietta. I'm giving you a call. I'm checking in with all my favorite bloggers and viewers.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Marietta? What you working on? Since we got the wrong time on the news, let's just check in with the people that we love. What are you up to, my sister?
I'm not today.
You not?
I was watching what's his name? Jesse Jackson. I'm watching that today.
Oh yeah, that's kind of sad. Are you gonna go over there? Are you gonna try to see his body or not?
No, I don't know it.
No, you're not that. Yeah, it's kind of sad. What's your memories about? What's your memories about Jesse Jackson? What are you thinking about?
I like his sermons. I like all his sermons.
Oh yeah, you did?
I like his sermons. I like his sermons. Yeah.
Yeah. So you used to see. Did you watch the Saturday ones or the Sunday ones?
What do you mean?
Because he
used to do.
I don't think
I watched either one.
Because he used to do.
I think I did watch the Saturday one.
Because they used to do the Saturday Operation Push, and then he did Sunday stuff. Because I spoke at the Saturday ones. There were more politics on Saturdays, so yeah. I worked over there. I wrote up about that when he passed away. I worked in Operation Push 20 years ago. I was organizing the black teachers got laid off from CPS, so they let me use the space, never charged me rent, never gave me any problems. They gave me advice on how to do things. They even brought in people from the National. They brought in like lawyers, civil rights lawyers and all of that. So yeah, Yeah, he knew a lot of people. He knew what he was doing. So are you even cooking today, or are you taking a whole vacation today? You're not doing anything?
Well, I made my food the other day. I made homemade chicken noodle soup the other day, so we figured that now.
So you got a little bit of leftovers?
Homemade chicken noodle soup, yep.
Homemade chicken noodle soup. There we go. That's the best kind of soup. Did you want to talk about our project that we were working on the other day, or did you want to keep that confidential for now?
We'll keep it confidential right now.
All right, we'll keep it confidential.
We'll do it another day.
All right, because me and Marietta are working on the podcast. That's why I'm giving her a call now to get a little warmed up on that. Me, You, and the News. That's going to be called our podcast. She invented that name. Yeah. And then we have another project. Then once we start doing the podcast, we'll tell you guys what that's going on. So what else you working on today? Did you go out? You're watching the Jesse Jackson?
No, go out. I went out for a minute. I came back in the house. So yeah, I ain't go out for my mama. But other than that, that's it.
How's she doing? All right.
Everybody in the house is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Besides what's going on, like you said, what's it called? The liberal, what you said? The
liberal brain disease.
That's what it is. The liberal brain disease. Yeah. That's what it's called. The liberal brain disease. That means you need some serious help for your brain.
So think about it. We just had a white dude, Johnny Boom Boom, come on and talk. Right, and you hear him while he talks, and now we got Marietta that we grew up mostly on the north side, right, Marietta?
Yeah.
And then Marietta's my age. She's an African American woman, and you see, we all talk the same, but they all say we're separate, right, Marietta? Isn't that what they do?
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's the liberal brain disease. And look, I don't know Marietta. I've only known her from my internet here. We went out a few times there that we've talked and we've done some things together. But I never grew up in Marietta, but somehow we have the same kind of thinking, right, Marietta?
Yep.
What do you think about? What's your opinion on these migrants? What should happen to these migrants? What's your idea?
With the migrants, I think they need. But one thing, they take that out. They need to take that out. They take that need to go.
So they
take that need to go.
So they need to be deported, right?
Yeah. And the criminals that's doing it, the criminals that's saying they like you say, they threaten you and all that, they need to be locked up. Yes, they do. They need to be locked up.
Hey, can I ask you, and you don't have to tell me, and it's your business. Do you want to say what you think you are? What's your politics? What do you think? Are you Democrat, blue, red? Do you vote Republican?
I'm a Democrat.
So here you have a Democrat on our show. You just had a MAGA on our show. Now you have a Democrat, African-American woman, middle-aged like me. She says you got to deport those migrants. She just said it. We're not making this up. This is a live show. We're not making these things up. That's why I run my show the way I do. You right, Marietta?
Yeah, I like the way you run your show too.
And that's what happens. People see. So there's three of us that we just talked. And first of all, we found out that the news is wrong, right? So we know now the news is wrong today because they have the wrong time, right? But what do we find out? That we all start to think the same way. We have a little bit about differences. I look at it as like this. It's like a baseball team or a football team or a sports team. People have their own teams. Democrats and Republicans are the same way. It's your own team. That's what you like, right?
Right. And I'm going to say something about that. Hey, John, I'm going to say something about that.
Go ahead.
About Trump, right? I agree with some things he say, but most of the things I don't agree with he say.
See?
Some things I agree, but most of the things I don't agree.
See?
It's a split.
And that don't mean anything, but that's the way life is. That's what our country is. You can say whatever you want. You can like whoever you want. You can vote for whoever you want. You can change your mind if you want, right?
Yeah, there's a choice. You have a choice.
That's why we're all in this country. That's why we're Americans. I mean, I think that's what... I think I talked about this a few months ago. It might have been with you. Americanism. We talk about Democrats, Republicans, red, blues, MAGAs, and liberal, all of this. But when we start talking about American, right? When are you going to be an American? Like, I talked about with the migrants when I seen them. I said, why don't they teach them how to be American? Who's teaching the migrant to be American? Why don't they should have hired Marietta. She would teach them how to be. You wouldn't have taught the migrants how to be Americans, right?
No, I won't get them out.
I try to see if Marietta had a little bit of liberalism in her. She goes, nah, they need to go. See, but look what we just had. We just had Johnny Boom Boom on. He said, yeah, they're all right. I don't care. They're here. They need to be deported. And now what did you hear from Marietta, who's a Democrat? She says, no, they need to go now. Do you see the difference? We're not all the same. The media lies, and they make lies about us, right? That's the liberal lie, right? You're listening to an African-American woman who says, no, they need to be out. You just listen to a white man, Johnny Boom, who says, yeah, they need to be deported, but if they're here, they're here. Whatever. We need to figure it out. You see the difference? And we have these people that are controlling and manipulating us. So, yeah. So what else do you want to talk about, or you want to get off the show, or what are you doing now?
I ain't gonna do anything. Relaxing.
All right.
Not doing really much today.
All righty.
Well, next Monday come. We come. Next Monday come.
So,
don't forget.
I won't forget. So, I know I put you on the spot today, Marietta. I appreciate you.
No, you put me on the spot. No, you didn't put me on the spot. I love being on the show. I love it.
All right. So,
I love it.
So what we're going to do is, because Marietta does cooking on her page, you need to go tell people where to find your page. Tell them how to find your page, your Facebook page. Tell them your page.
Marietta James had 2 pages. Marietta James and Home Cooking with Jesus.
Home Cooking.
That is 2 pages.
Home Cooking with Jesus and Marietta James. She's got her recipes. She's got some cool stuff on there. She does meditation. She does religious stuff. So go on her page, see what she's doing, and look, that's what we got to do. We got to talk to each other and build each other up. Are we all the same? No. Are we different? No. Yes. But we all are Americans. We all live here, and we got to make the best of it. Hey, Marietta, thanks for being on the show, okay?
Okay. I'll talk to you later, okay? You be safe out there.
Thank you. Watch my back. Marietta is one of the ones that watch my back in case they kill me or something. She'll call 911 from me, right?
Sure will.
All right, I love you. I love you, Marietta. Talk to you later, okay?
Yeah, you will. Be safe out there.
All right, appreciate you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's see if the news is on the right direction now, right?
Well, if you're not a fan of clipping grocery coupons on your phone, a new proposal in Springfield may have you dancing in the aisles.
Representative Janet Yang Rohr says she sponsored the bill after hearing from residents in her Naperville district having a hard time using digital coupons.
They bring their phones, for example. They don't get an internet connection in the store because a lot of times these are like very big box stores and there's no internet.
The Democrats' bill would make it a violation of the state's Deceptive Business Practices Act not to offer another option.
You are advertising a price in the store, including, grab this or click this digital coupon. If you're going to put that price down in the store, you have to be able to give consumers a way to get that price.
The Illinois Retail Merchants Association opposes the bill in its current form, saying retailers are not able to create paper coupons because manufacturers, not stores, decide what form they take, and banning digital-only versions would reduce the number of available promotions. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
What some high school seniors call harmless fun is prompting a fresh warning from police.
Ski masks, squirt guns, and startled bystanders. Police say those elements have shown up before during Senior Assassins. That's a graduation season game now resurfacing in Villa Park and throughout the suburbs. In a social media post, village officials say teens chase assigned targets in neighborhoods using toy guns. Authorities note the game is not illegal, but say running through yards or carrying realistic-looking toy guns could violate local ordinances. In past suburban incidents, police say similar games have sparked panic, including one case in Gurnee where a concealed carry holder mistook a water gun encounter for a real threat. Sarah Herrera, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
At 4:34, a former First Lady testified before a House committee today, telling it
4:34. The man just said it's 4:34, but it's 4:48, so they're 20 minutes behind on the news. See that? We're going to see, oh man, they cleaned out the homeless here again. Look at that. They cleaned out the homeless people. See that there? There you go, everybody. I was going to come and talk to these guys, but they cleaned them out. See that there? They're cleaning out the streets.
The National Trust for Historic Preservation tried to block construction, saying the White House failed to follow law by moving ahead with the project without first getting congressional approval, independent reviews, or public comments. While the judge ruled against the request, he also said he would expeditiously consider the issue if the National Trust amends its complaint. President Trump's decision to demolish the entire east wing of the White House to build his ballroom has triggered backlash from lawmakers.
Look at that. No one will let me out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look.
The White House.
Learning more
You
about
gonna let me out? You gonna let me out?
Cuban waters.
You gonna let me
The
out?
government says the boat was carrying weapons.
Look at that. Look at that. Maniacs. Maniacal maniacs.
Killed 6 others injured.
No one would let me out. Do you see that there? That you see the BMW with all tinted windows? He's going through the red lights now. Maniacs. Maniacal drivers. Half of them had out-of-state plates. Driving in rush hour in Chicago. Did you see that?
That this was an armed attack.
Cuba's government says the majority of the 10 people on the boat have a known history of criminal and violent activity. A check of traffic, weather, and low gas prices in the area just around there. It's 4:36.
And we're going to listen to some radio calls. We're going to see if we miss any crime, all right? Let me get it here, like that. Because the news is behind. We know that. So we're going to... so we got it logged at WBBM today on February 26, 2026. It's the times are wrong. After 4 o'clock, between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, the times are off. They're off by about 20 minutes. So we documented that here, right? And that's just some radio calls. Let's see what's going on the scanner scene. We'll go back to about 3 o'clock maybe? No, it's 4:50. So when we go back to here, right? We'll start right here. Let's see what's going on. Maybe we do some crime chasing.
7395.
7395.
Yeah, can you also put me and 7395 Charlie on that smoking mission platoon, please?
Okie dokie.
7386 David.
7386 David.
Can I get a random for the blue red line Chicago?
08293. 08293. Eunice, please watch your key. Is that 7386 Adam or 83 Adam?
86 Adam, ma'am. Can I get that event number again so we all know we're trying to get
08263. 08263.
7383 Charlie.
7383 Charlie.
Event number please. Blue line. Car number 3244 approaching Hostage Station. Eastbound.
08312.
7386 boy.
7386 boy.
That event for Opera Jackson or Red Line.
08317. 08317.
Charlie.
7386 Charlie.
7389 Charlie. Can I get an event for a train ride from Roosevelt Red Line? Train car 5667.
Alrighty, 08362. 08362.
I was just checking, and I appreciate you, Marietta. Thanks for taking my call. Thank you. I was just checking the major incidents notifications, Chicago police, where I get information. They're still, there was a report one of the guys died yesterday. He was shot in the head, but it's not reflected like that on the MINS. I'll have to check the coroner's reports that I get. The second thing is that Chicago police separated the events, and everybody says the events were together. It was 5 people shot last night. It started at the BP, And one other guy was shot down on Harper or something like that, but they were all part of the same shooting scenes. So Chicago police wants to, again, manipulate data to say it wasn't that bad. It doesn't matter because 4 people were shot in one place, and that's a mass shooting as it is. In most crime data places are just labeled 3 shot as a mass shooting, right? Some say it's 4, some say it's 3, but the norm is 3. So we had 4 shot last night, but it was 5 in one area within less than 5 minutes. It's all the same. And did you hear the mayor talking about it today? Have we had any crime interventions? Have we done anything? Imagine this. Think about this. ICE, right? Did you see the video I posted? I almost got banned on that one, where Taft High School students, the school organized the walkout, and then they beat people up out when they were on the walkout. Everybody says that those citizens have a right to sue the school because they shouldn't let the kids out to protest, right? That's cutting school. But think about this. Think about this. The schools organize anti-government rallies, anti-police rallies. Basically, anti-ICE is anti-police. That's what it is. It's anti-cop. That's it, right? That's what that is. Anti-ICE is anti-cop. You can be anti-immigration policy or pro-border, whatever you want, but then you would go protest the government, right? But why are you protesting the cops? Because those are defunders. They're anti-cops. They're the revolutionaries. They're the People's Liberation Party, the PLP. I just talked to somebody about that. These are anti-cop people. Why do they want to get rid of cops? Because if they get rid of cops, they can rip you off some more, right? When there's no cops, they can steal more of your money. That's the point, right? So this is, looks like this is for the, some funeral stuff there. See that there? That's something going on there, right? See that it's flagged off there with the black there. It must be for, something going on here. Dignitaries going back and forth. See all the M plates? See the M plates, right? These are the government buildings. So think about this. The schools organize anti-police rallies. And then we have a video in Chicago, and there's a video in Arizona, and I think there's a video up somewhere else. There's a video in Arizona, they were beating up a guy. The students were beating up a guy while on one of these anti-ICE rallies. And we have a video now from the Taft students beating up. So imagine this. Public schools, not private schools, public schools, government schools, organizing anti-police rallies where students go attack people. We just had a mass shooting last night on 66 in Stone Island. A mass shooting. 5 people were shot. Did any school organize a peace rally? Did any school organize an anti-gun rally? Did any school organize we need more public safety rally? Think about that. Think about where we are. And think about who are the people that are running our government, in Chicago specifically, and who are running our schools. They will organize an anti-police rally, an anti-ICE rally. But when 5 individuals, 5 blacks, I think there were blacks last night, when 5 blacks get shot in cold blood, there's no rally. They don't organize it. Think about it. If you're for peace, right? Isn't that what we talked about earlier on the broadcast? Democrats, Republicans, MAGAs, liberals, all these. Don't we think of the Democrats as the peace people, the flower childs, the anti-war movement of the 60s, right? The hippies, the weed smokers, all of that. Don't we think of them as that? That's where they come from. Social justice, right? That's what they yell about. Social justice, civil rights. Don't they? Civil rights. Imagine, what's the worst violation of someone's civil rights? When there's terror and killing on streets. And think about civil rights like this way and discrimination. When 80 to 90% of the people getting shot and killed in the city are black, isn't that like genocide? Shouldn't you be like shutting down the system? Shouldn't you do like the Birmingham boycotts and shut down the buses and the trains and the businesses and say, until this gets fixed, we're not going to let the city operate? Think about it. 5 At least 5 black people were shot last night, and there's no protest about it. None. The civil rights people, instead, are anti-police. The police, I have issues with the police. My position on the police, right? I believe in law and order. That don't mean I believe in the cops. You got that? I listen to them. I listen to them as an authority, but you heard me many times on my live feeds. I just told that lady to F off the other day with the headlight thing that she was playing with me, right? Playing with my headlights out on the west side. I said, there's drug dealers over there, and she did nothing about it. I told her to F off, right? You heard me. So my position with cops. I believe in law and order. I believe a little respect. But when you start violating my rights, and especially when cops lie, then I'm not into that stuff. So, but let's get back to the original discussion here. Here we have, and it's almost 5 o'clock. Think about this, and we're going to get to the news. We have people who say they're Democrats and liberals in social justice, yet there's blacks dying on our streets every day in our city, and there was no peace protest. None. No peace protest today at all. And it would have been the perfect time for Jesse Jackson's thing to have a rally there and say, too many blacks are dying in Chicago, and we need to do something about it. And use him to springboard that concept. And that's what he was famous for. He'd use issues to get blacks what they need, to get them equity and to get them jobs. Yet today's social justice people are not about social justice. They're about control and oppression. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, let's listen to the radio here, okay? I think it's 5 o'clock. Let's see if they're back on time. Let's go. How the audio? Let's go. Let's see if they're on time.
As an election judge, giving her a new appreciation for the voting process.
To do this amazing thing that helps our community is very inspiring to me because I love being in our community. I want to become a lawyer someday.
The Illinois primary is March 17th. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The federal government has given Elgin Community College $2 million for its new training center that's currently under construction.
The Manufacturing and Technology Center is more than a building, says the president of Elgin Community College. It's about connecting students to growing industries and helping local businesses thrive due to a skilled workforce. The funding from Congress will help the MTC buy equipment to give students hands-on training in industrial manufacturing, indoor air systems, welding, and other areas. The community college expects the center to open this fall. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Lake County, Illinois Sheriff's Office investigating a deadly crash this morning. The first responders were called to a head-on crash around 173 west of North Kilbourne Road in Wadsworth around 8 o'clock. Paramedics arrived and saw a semi-truck and Acura had collided. Investigators say the driver of the Acura, a 51-year-old man, and his passenger, a 54-year-old woman, died on impact. The driver of the semi was not hurt. 5:08, time now for an update of traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Lisa.
5:08. We're on time. We're on time. Hey, that's what I want to check. Synchronize the time. Let's do some radio calls. What's up, Nick? What's up, my brother? Let's do some crime, murder, mayhem, and chaos, right? And let's listen to what's going on. Maybe we'll do some crime chasing or something pops up, right?
I'm sorry, I can't control that. Your events are 08726, and 8729.
So far, I appreciate it.
No problem.
boy.
7389 boy.
87 boy. Can I get a van roll on?
08741.
Daddy?
Bunch you're talking at once. 7372.
Station check is 79 from the red.
08764.
7386, Daddy?
73866.
Can I get an upper at Howard Red Line?
08769.
73886, David.
7283 David? I'm sorry, 7382 David or 868?
7386 David, can we get a event number for our red line check Chicago and State platform?
08787. 08787. Do I have any heavy units on the Lakeshore Drive today, or are they all detailed out? I'm gonna guess no.
Radio check.
As good as it's gonna get over here.
Hey squad, is this for the details or the leaks for the reverend?
That's on event 1. 7391 David.
Separate event numbers. The staff will make our votes all right.
08833, 08833, and 08834, 08834. 7391 David. I can't hear you. 7391 David, that's you. No, I still can't copy you. If you need your events again, it's 8833 and 8834.
4388.
4388.
Excuse me, 7388.
That's close. Go ahead.
Can I get an event number for a trip mission at Racing?
08859, 08859.
99, thank you. 4754.
4754.
We headed to Oman Square for a money step for 6550 Charlie.
Oh, okay.
These are suburbanites going home. See them? They're all lined up to get on the highway.
True squad, I was through shot for money step.
Okay, give me a second. I'm trying to make a ticket for him. Alrighty, 08876, 08876.
387 Adam.
I got a whole bunch of cars all deciding to talk at once.
7387 Adam.
7387 Adam.
I'm gonna get that event number for Jefferson Park, the line. Event number.
08883, 08883.
Thanks. 388 Charlie.
7380 check.
We're gonna event for a trip mission at Racing Blue Line.
08902, 08902.
83.
Let's just all talk at once. That works really, really well.
Next.
7383 boy.
Can I get his number for 7993
08912, 08912.
If you don't know where we're at, we're in the Fulton Market District. This is the super gentrification area. Google owns all of this stuff. This is where all the techies are. The .coms, the AIs, this is where all the AIs are right here. This is the AI. This is Google's headquarters is right down the street. They're worth $3 trillion, not B, $3 trillion. That's right down the street.
7383 Eddie.
This is where all the AI stuff is.
7383 Charlie, coming.
There used to be 3 migrant shelters there, too.
7383 Eddie. Can I get a 35th red line?
08927, 08927.
7388 Charlie.
7388 Charlie.
What were the last three on my event?
08902, 08902. Robbery just occurred, Madison and Parkside. 3 males, all black clothing, robbed caller at gunpoint. Nothing further. Zone 12 clear.
There you go, Madison and Parkside, right?
7387.
738. So February 2026, Chicago's point-to-point radio station is cleared. 738.
Number for a trip mission at Jenna Park, and Adam and Boyer are going to be with me.
Okay, are you doing a CTA ride?
Just on the platform.
Okay, because we don't have a trip mission, so that's why I'm trying to figure out if you guys are trying to ask for a CTA ride.
You just make it a regular mission.
It's an L check. 08939. 08939.
7397.
7397.
You're coming clear from the academy.
Unit coming in or 2 units?
7381 Charlie.
Alright. Oh, I got so many people, so many voices in my ear. I got a 1 Charlie.
7391 Charlie.
You the winner chicken, then how can I help you?
Yes, but shows one with custody. We're going to self-transfer to 1.
You said 1 in custody, you self-transporting?
4 squad over here at Roswell Rest.
Alright, let me put you down because I don't have you on anything. Alright, I got you 1 in custody, self-transporting. 87 Charlie David.
87 Charlie David, can I get a red for lunch? 3343 West Addison.
Take event number 08955, 08955. And 91 Charlie, you want me to show you going into the station right now or you later on?
We're going to the station now.
I got you going to 111 at 1702. And I got a female unit trying to come in.
7386 Adam.
86 Adam.
Can I get the event number, please, for the red line?
Ooh, you're ready to drown that red line where?
Red line of Roosevelt, please.
Sure, take event number 08962. 08962.
7387. Boy.
87 boy.
Put us off on a mission. 1 hour in Jefferson Park.
Alright, take event number 08977.
7386 David.
86.
So can we get a platform check, Chicago red line?
08998. 08998.
7386 boy.
86 boy.
Can I get a number for lower Jackson red line?
09005. 09005.
3620.
620.
Hey, good afternoon. Is this the channel for the funeral services?
No, that's on event 1. And what's the channel? Maybe B10, B11, somewhere up and down. I don't know, but no, it's event 1. Maybe B13. It's one of those Bs.
I think.
You are
B10.
Oh, this is B10.
Radio check.
Just a second.
25, X-ray 693. I'm on the leaks detail at 5030 Dorchester.
You need event 1. You don't see why I want to
That's the Reverend Jackson's funeral thing, right? You hear it? The police are taking care of that guy. It's not that bad to hear that, right?
7383 Adam.
7383 Adam.
Yeah, can we get a VIN number, please, for 95th Road Line?
Sure, take 09085.
7388 Adam.
7388 Adam.
Can we get a VIN number for Blue Line at Western?
It's 09091.
7391 David.
91 David.
VIN number for 89 here.
You said 89 at O'Hare? 503.
386 boy.
86 boy.
Yes, squad. Can I get a number for Upper Jackson Red Light?
Sure, it's 09109.
3-3, I'm 3.
M3.
M3 squad, can I get 2, 1 for the main branch and then 1 for the Chicago Lock?
Zero 9121 and 09124. 739 Charlie. 95 Charlie.
Wagon over at 69 Bedlam.
That's fine, requesting from 7.
I think we might be caught up to our radio calls there. That was pretty fast, huh? Let's double check. Yeah, we're caught up on radio calls. Man. So we're caught up on radio calls. We checked in with a couple of viewers. If somebody wants to call in, Nick, you want to call in, or Ms. Zidor, I'll give you my phone number. You can call in if you want to talk about some. So who else is on there? Marietta, Nick, what's going on, my brother? What's up, Sean? You want to call in? I'll give you my number. You guys can call in and say what you want. I don't have the beeper thing. You know how you have to have the 5-second delay? I don't have that. So if you say something whacked, the only thing I can do is hang up, but you'll be able to say it. If somebody wants to call in, tell me. I'll send you my numbers. Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind it. I believe in freedom of speech. But I also believe in freedom of association. Remember that First Amendment. It's freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, and the fourth one that people forget. See, I remember this because I used this when I was a union member. It's called freedom of association. So yeah, you can say whatever you want, but that don't mean I'm going to let you be on my show. It's kind of funny, right? I thought it was funny, but it's one of those jokes maybe I'll laugh and no one else will. But hey, that's the way life goes. Sometimes we do that, right? So that's the idea, right?
Charlie, go. 771 is en route.
And
7383,
and another reason I know about freedom of association is that's how a lot of the gangs beat their cases. And that's why they hit them up with the RICO case. And that's why you can't really get them with loitering and those kinds of things, because you can use the freedom of association. Well, I'm just hanging out with these guys. They're my friends, right? It's a club.
I was answering you on City would have 1. Yes, 771 is around. We're going to need us to step it up for this guy. Okay, I'll let him know.
But when you start dealing drugs, you start shooting people, you maybe do some other things, then you become not the club that's allowed to free and associate. You become an organized gang, which is now under the RICO Act, and that's how they prosecute them, right? That's how they started taking down the mob. And then they do street gangs that way now, too. So everybody has a right to do what they want to do, say what they want to do, even hang out with anybody. But when you should start doing crime, then you're into another realm there that can get you a lot of time. And that stuff is RICO time. That's Fed time. You don't get. It's not like in Illinois. If you read CWB a lot, you'll read about these cases, rape cases, even killing cases, whatever, very bad cases. They'll get 5 or 10 years, maybe something like that. And they'll say, well, they've been in court for 3 years. And then, they counted house arrest as arrest. You know that? There was a case, I forget what it was. A guy beat somebody up or something. I don't know what it was. It was CTA or robbery or whatever it was.
Are they at Marquette and Loomis? They should be heading your way down Marquette.
And the guy got 5 or 6 years for doing something to somebody, I think. There's the tents over there, right? And what was funny is CWB figured it out. They said, well, because he was on home monitoring for 2.5 years during court, and because you get good time with the state, even though he got like 6 years, he's only going to be 30 days. Or there was one guy who didn't get no time, that all his time was already counted because he was on home monitoring. So they count home monitoring as time, as real time. It's not half time. It's not whatever time. It's not 2 for 1s. Home monitoring is 1 for 1. So if you're on, so if you're on home monitoring for 3 years and you get 3 year sentence, you don't have to go to jail. You're out. That's your jail time. Yeah, that's. You read CWB about some of these cases like that. It's pretty wild. You're like, yeah, man, they should be in jail for a little while. No, they're not. That's the problem with state law and state things, right? We have to be careful, and we got to revise some of that stuff. Like that killing of, is it Figueroa? The young man the other day got arrested, sold the Uber driver that was killed by that lady. In the old days, there was 3 of them, right? In the car. She's the one that was the driver. In the old days, before the Safety Act, all 3 would be charged with murder. But since the Safety Act, they removed that provision to automatically upcharge anyone that was around you that if they died. And in the old days, the original law about that was, even if your buddy, say you're a criminal and you're with your buddy, right? And you go and one of you die. Your buddy didn't kill you. Say you got killed in a car crash. Say the other guy shot you, whatever it was. But if you're with a dude committing a crime and the other guy died, you could get charged with that guy's murder because you should have stopped the crime. That's the way the law was written. Do you know under the Safety Act that was removed? The Figueroa case, that's Figueroa, right? The young guy, the Uber driver. That's that case. Only she got charged. In the old days, all 3 would be charged with murder because all 3 were with her committing the crime. That was the point I'm trying to make there, right? And that the Safety Act has taken out. The other thing the Safety Act took out, and this is even bigger, is automatic upgrades from juvenile to adult. It was automatic. The Safety Act took it out and makes you have to petition to do that now. In the old days, it would happen automatically if the case was aggravated and heinous. I don't know what the language was. When the Safety Act came out, I was reading about this. There was certain language. If you were an aggravated felony offense and there was a certain age, it would automatically go up to being an adult. And the prosecutor could keep it down. That's how it would work. The prosecutor could say, nah, it's his first offense. Nah, it was mitigating circumstance, not this. We're not going to charge him as an adult. He'll be juvie. But it would automatically pop up if they didn't do that. Those 2 provisions were taken out. Oh, man. I may take this call, but I'm going to tell him to call me back. Hey, Osito, I'm live feeding on my internet. Why don't I give you a call later, okay? Or why don't you text me the stuff, all right?
All right. Sounds good, man.
Text me the stuff. Text it to me, all right? Thanks. Bye. That's my mechanic, so I'm not going to do my mechanic talking on the internet. He's from Jalisco, by the way, where all that bad stuff was happening. I talked to a few people from Jalisco. They said that people got to just hang out in their houses. It's dangerous, but it's not that dangerous. They say they're not killing innocent people, but they're burning stuff. They're destroying property down there. It's 5:30. Let's get on the news.
In Chicago, 41 degrees, O'Hare and the lakefront.
Let's see if it's on time.
At 5:29.
It is. There you go. So yeah, Jalisco. My brother-in-law is from Jalisco, by the way. So I haven't talked to him yet. I talked to my mom. He lives over at my mom's place with my sister. They take care of my mom. My mom's 80, by the way, and 79. She just turned 79 today. My mom's birthday is today, 79. I gave her a call early in the morning. We had a long talk. She's 79 today, my mom. So my sister and her husband, Ramon, live there. Ramon's from Jalisco. My mom said, yeah, they're doing all right. He's got them. His mom there. His dad passed away last year. He's in charge. They got a ranch there, and he's the guy that's in charge of it. So he lives here. He lives in America, but he goes back once in a while. So let's listen to 5:30 News. So yeah, I have direct connections to the place where that bad stuff was happening.
Newsradio.com.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm Andy Dane in for Lisa Fielding. These are the top stories on News Radio WBBM.
This is Mike Krauser. It's a hard day. This is the first day that my mother has seen my father. We're at the Southside headquarters of Rainbow Push, where the body of the Reverend Jesse Jackson lies in repose.
The Bears make headway in both Illinois and Indiana in their quest to build a new stadium. There's a new proposal in Springfield for shoppers frustrated by digital-only coupons. And learning more about yesterday's skirmish between Cuba's Coast Guard and an armed group on a Florida-registered speedboat. Sports, the Bulls hosting the Portland Trail.
You know what time of the month it is, right? It's check time. If you look at my videos from last few days, last week it was empty here. You want to see what's going on today? The zombies are out. Well, listen to the news.
Bloomberg. AccuWeather says clearing skies tonight, a low hovering right around freezing. Right now, mostly cloudy, 41 degrees at 5:31. The body of the Reverend Jesse Jackson is lying in repose at the headquarters of Rainbow Push on Chicago's South Side, where plenty of people have been stopping by to pay respects on the first of 2 days of visitation.
The Reverend Jackson's voice came through speakers here outside Rainbow Push. A large crowd lined up in the parkway on Drexel Boulevard. Standing in line behind hundreds of people was our...
It's the first of the month. Guess what's happening out here? Everybody's out. Look at that. Everybody's out. Pretty wild, huh? We were out here last week, and it was empty. We were out here, a few days ago, and it was empty. But now, since the end of the month, what is it? It's Thursday. Those checks are coming. They might come when? This weekend? So that's when they get fronted the drugs. You just seen it. That was over on, what was that? That was Pulaski and Lake. You see all the drug addicts out there, right? There you go. SubX.News. Always reporting, always telling you. This is in the news.
On the South Side, Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Chicago Bears scoring wins in 2 different state legislatures today as they consider a location for their next stadium. Indiana Governor Mike Braun signed the law bill that creates a stadium authority between the Dome Stadium for the Bears and Hammond. The bill received final passage in the Indiana State Senate, where Gary Democrat Mark Spencer was a yes vote.
A project of this magnitude means construction jobs in immediate term. It means permanent careers in hospitality, food service, security, logistics, facility management. Also means new hotels, restaurants, retail corridors, and small business growth surrounding a world-class venue.
Well, here in Illinois, lawmakers in a state house committee advanced a so-called mega projects bill designed to give the Bears and other developers a way to lock in long-term property tax rates on their properties. It's not clear when it will be brought before the full House. It's now adjourned until March 18th. Budget-conscious customers would have another option besides digital coupons at the grocery store under a new proposal in Springfield.
Illinois is looking to follow San Diego and requiring grocery stores to offer other coupon options for the same amounts and items as digital-only ones. Representative Janet Yang Rohr is the sponsor of the bill in the House.
There's really a real discriminatory aspect to this as well, and an accessibility issue, like if you don't have a smartphone.
The Illinois Retail Merchants Association is opposed to the measure and working with lawmakers to make changes. Their senior VP of Government Relations tells us banning digital-only coupons would lead many stores to scale back or eliminate discounts altogether. Representative Yang Rohr says the current bill would allow the state attorney general to penalize stores up to $50,000 per violation. But the Democrat says there are many steps they could take before it would reach that point. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
At 5:34, tensions rising between the U.S. and Cuba following a deadly boat attack in waters near Cuba. A small boat registered in the U.S. was fired upon by Cuban military boats after the boat allegedly fired first. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides says Secretary of State Marco Rubio is leading a probe of what happened and why.
It's not something that happens every day. It's something, frankly, that hasn't happened with Cuba in a very long time. Cuban officials say the troops then returned fire, killing 4 on the boat and injuring 6 others, identifying them as Cuban nationals living in the U.S.
Once we get access to them, then we get the other side of the story.
Appearing on Fox News, Congressman Carlos Jimenez, who was born in Cuba, says the regime there can't be trusted.
The Cubans are going to tell you that they're Cuban nationals, but I'm pretty sure that they came from the United States or either residents or citizens of the United States.
Cuba's government says the majority of the 10 people on the boat have a known history of criminal and violent activity. Officials in upstate New York calling for an investigation into the death of a nearby blind refugee found dead in Buffalo this week. The 56-year-old man's body was found several days after being released by Customs and Border Patrol at a local coffee chain. A spokesperson for Border Patrol says he showed no signs of distress, mobility issues, or disabilities requiring special assistance. Attorneys for the man's family say in addition to being near blind, the man could not speak or understand English. A federal judge has rejected a bid to temporarily halt President Trump's $400 million White House ballroom project.
The National Trust for Historic Preservation sought to pause the project until it undergoes independent reviews and gets congressional approval, neither of which the president sought before demolishing the East Wing and moving ahead with construction. Today, a judge says the group's unlikely...
Did you guys just see that? Because they weren't out there the other day. They were all out there today, but you didn't see nobody on Cicero. We'll go around. We'll make some rounds. We'll see what's going on out there. It's kind of funny, ain't it? We should track crime like that. Crime and drugs, right?
Anywhere in the world,
be interesting.
Magani, Washington.
Traffic, weather, low gas prices on the way. It's 5:36.
Pella provides window and door replacement with products you can trust. For a limited time, call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio and get 25% off windows and doors. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Dealing with lower body pain is the pits. But after just one trip to the Good Feet store, that pain could be a thing of the past. It's Bo Duran, and that's what I discovered during my free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store. I could tell from the moment I slipped my feet onto my personalized arch supports that I finally had the balance and posture I had been needing. And now Mrs. Duran is a Good Feet convert too. Her back and foot pain have gone the way of the dodo bird. Looks like she's out of excuses now. She'll be heading out west to hike some 14,000 foot tall mountain peaks with me this summer. Improve the quality of your life 2 feet at a time. Try for yourself and feel the difference. It all starts with one visit to the Good Feet store. Schedule your free fitting and test walk at goodfeet.com or just stop by the store nearest you with locations in Skokie, Schaumburg, Algonquin, Geneva, Naperville, Orland Park, and in Highland, Indiana.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Sponsored by PackyWebFord.com, the Bronco Boss. PackyWeb Ford will beat any competitor's auto show deal on any Bronco or Bronco Sport. Details, visit PackyWebFord.com. In Evanston, the BP at Howard and Chicago selling gas for $2.74 a gallon. And in Lincolnwood, the Shell at Lincoln and Devon has gas for $2.94 a gallon. If you see a low gas price, give us a phone call, 312-409-GASS. That's 312-409-4277. 5:38, time now for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Here's Lisa Costi.
Trouble on your tollways, significant slowdowns for you on the tri-state. For starters, southbound, you're stop and go from Irving Park to Cermak with that stalled semi now in the right center lane. Also, northbound, you're heavy from Roosevelt to Ogden on the tri-state, and then the Bensonville Bridge to Balmoral. The Jane Addams westbound jam from Route 25 to past the Elgin Toll Plaza. We've got a crash with a spin out. That's now blocking the 2 left lanes. Eastbound, you're heavy approaching the ramp to westbound I-190. That's that long-term road work on the exit ramp at the Toll Plaza. The Eden still pretty heavy from Tower down to Skokie Boulevard and Dempster to the Junction, 38 minutes from Lake Cook. Kennedy inbound heavy Cumberland all the way to the Jane Byrne. It's an hour in from O'Hare, 44 minutes out to O'Hare. If you jump in the express lanes, they'll save you 2 minutes. And hey, we all know every minute counts. The I-190 O'Hare extension eastbound, you're heavy from the terminals to the tri-state. The Eisenhower now heavy Higginstadt 355, and then York to Harlem, Independence to the Jane Byrne interchange. It's an hour 8 in 40 from Manheim. It's 56 on your outbound side to the Jane Addams. Stevenson now 47 minutes in from I-355 to DeSable Lakeshore Drive. It's 51 going back out to the Veterans. Dan Ryan inbound 22 minutes for you. Outbound, you're heavy from the Jane Byrne interchange to 18th and 47th all the way to the Split. You're looking at a 32-minute trip for you. From the Metro Traffic Center, your next traffic is at 548 on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather, it's going to become mainly clear tonight. We'll see lows around the freezing mark, and then noticeably warmer tomorrow. Heading into Friday, we'll have a mostly sunny sky. We'll turn breezy with a high of 62. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, low 31. Much colder Saturday, a lot of clouds. There will be a bit of snow in the afternoon, which could accumulate a coating to an inch. Saturday.
You see, they blocked the garbage cans off here, right? They sell drugs over here. It's a dangerous area. Don't fool around here. See the garbage cans? That blocks it off. That means there's not only drug dealing, it's gangs here. So you got to be really careful out here.
74, S&P 500.
There's a white dude right there. Right there. They were sitting right there.
Meadows leaders giving a church.
What's up? What's up, Catherine? Long time no here, man. Are you okay?
In a nearly 3-hour-long city council meeting, neighbors spoke up.
And then so here, this is the one where we had they got an open fire pit where the kids are playing basketball. You see that there? There's an open fire pit over there. See that there? There's kids playing basketball, and the drug addicts got a fire going there. See that there? Those are kids playing basketball. See them there?
6 yeses and 0 no's. The motion carries and the meeting is adjourned.
Right there. That's a fire pit. Drug addicts are sitting in that little thing there. You see that there? They live in that thing, I think. Everybody sees that, right? Remember when I got pulled over by the cops the other day? And I said, yeah, there's drug addicts here. And she lied. She goes, oh, we'll go take care of it. They didn't take care of it. Everybody sees the open fire pit there, right? There you go. And the kids are playing basketball there. See that there? Right next to it. And those are drug addicts there. You see that there? Drug addicts, fire, basketball. What did I say the other day? You go try to do that. You see what happens to you. You ain't doing that, man. I gotta get this on tape, right? I gotta make an extra video of that. What's up, Catherine? Let's see this here. My phone ain't working. My other phone ain't working now, so it just started acting up right when I do a video, right? Oh, that's the way always life goes, right? When you're ready to go, then you don't go. I'll do it a different way, right? .4:53 p.m. It's February 26th. It's February 26th. And the two guys just ran up on me there. They're watching who I am here. So they might have liked that video I had. It's February 26th, right? You gotta just keep moving sometimes. Those two dudes who are walking up on me there, so. I was gonna make an extra video with a video camera in my hand, but nah, we're just gonna keep moving on there. It's money day today. You see that, how they walked up on me? We were here the other day, how many hours? We were there for almost an hour and a half right there watching them. Don't you forget to remember that? So today it was different. They're serious today. They want that money. And don't move fool with somebody's money. There you go, right? You seen there was a fire, right? Yeah, did you see that there, Holly? And I'm like, oh, I'm right about the videotape. I had it in my hand, and then I put the camera down, and I just keep trying. Look at this here. Look at that there. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere here. Look at that. There you go, right? It's happening. It's no. So where's the cops at? Where is the cops? Look, if we know that as viewers and a knucklehead driving around in his car with the video, remember I got pulled over here. Yeah, it's gonna be a big weekend. I got pulled over here by the cops because I said I didn't have my headlights on. I said they're dealing drugs over there. And she goes, oh, we'll go there. And she never did. We're going to go over here. We're going to see if somebody's hanging out at this abandoned bank here, right? Hang on. This is an abandoned bank, I believe, here. We stopped that thing at 5 o'clock. Let's get some radio calls on it. I think we stopped at 5, right? And you seen that they were walking right up on me, man. Oh, man, you got to make a quick decision there. There we go.
No, I still can't copy you. If you need your events again, it's 8833 and
09275.
7383 Charlie.
There's a guy who was living right in this spot right here.
Yep, 3 go.
How you want for the Vietnam Memorial?
Take event number 09423.
That's somebody's spot there. See that there? There. That's somebody's spot. That's somebody's office there, huh? See that there? Pretty wild, ain't it? Somebody hangs out there. See that there? There you go, all right? That's somebody's stuff. That's somebody's property, right?
Can we get an event for the Red Line 69 station, please?
Sure, 09281.
Okay, 388 Adam.
88 Adam.
Thank you, the event for Blue Line, Champion 1.
It's a beautiful sunset, huh? Look at that. That's a nice view right there, right?
09288
7383 boy.
83 boy.
The dock for 79,
Sure, take 09296 09296.
2221 Unison 22 on the citywide. Got assault in progress 8751 South Loomis, 8751 South Loomis. Neighbor downstairs. 412 Unison 4 citywide. One ticket of shots fired. 7842 South Ridgeland. The caller states the male black mask, camouflage hoodie, blue jeans, fired a shot, and fled eastbound in the alley. Came in anonymous. No further course on 8.
It's beautiful out. See that there? We didn't do a sunset video tonight. I don't know where we were at, why we didn't do it. But at least we have it now, right? It's nicer, and the video is really nice on this. This is a different camera I have here. I think that's I got to get you guys the number. I have a Moto, I have a TLC, and then I have a Samsung. And let me see what that is. No, that's the TLC, I think, there that you're watching on. I got to get a new memory chip. I'm full on my memory. My memory gets full once a month. So I either get a new memory chip, the little SSD card, and I swap it, or I put it all on my computer. Sometimes it's a little hard to do because I can't videotape, then it locks the phone. It doesn't let it go there, right? That's a nice night. It might be quiet tonight because everybody's getting high and doing their thing, but it'll get crazy again. I don't know what happened yesterday. Everybody's seen yesterday. There was some gang-related stuff yesterday that shooting on Stony Island, and that's a strange thing that, like I said, there's no protest against the violence. You know what I mean? it's like a school shooting. It's 5 people shot, 5 black people shot, and there's no protest. There's no outrage. It's kind of ridiculous. You know, it's starting to show how these people are that are running our government, and they're not doing their jobs. You know what I mean?
Get a free trial event number over here at Roosevelt Green Line.
That means you get out of jail, no jail time. Free trial. That's Safety Act. That's what that means. You don't go to the station. It's like an I bond. So there's no punishment technically. That's the you just heard. That's the Safety Act. Pre-trial release.
09473.
09473. Pre-trial release.
7395. Call for a wagon at 69. 95 Charlie. He called for a wagon when he went down at
F412 Units in Fort City. One ticket is shots fired. 7842 South Ridgeland. The caller states a male black mask, camouflage hoodie, blue jeans, fired a shot, and fled eastbound in the alley. Came in anonymous. No further 418.
391 David. Get a free trial event number over here at Roosevelt Green Line. 09473094737. 7397, guy. What time did 7395 call for?
Roosevelt Green Line.
For a wagon at 69. 95 Charlie, he called for a wagon when he went down at 1720. He said 1771 over there at 1722.
So that's what you heard. That pre-trial means pre-trial release. So you don't even go to the police station anymore. So basically none happens. And we know what happened during COVID with the monitors and everything. They don't even monitor you. That's how these guys get a 5-year sentence. And they've been on these pre-trial releases with monitors or home confinement or whatever they are. And then they get convicted. They never spend 1 day in jail. Not 1 day. You can get a 5-year bit now. You can get a 5-year sentence and never spend 1 day in the jail. Never. I'm serious. Read up CWB. They wrote about it. If you haven't heard about that, and you don't understand what Safety Act has done, you can be sentenced to 5 years in prison, but you can never step. You can theoretically never step foot in a jail. Is that a white doper there? It looks like a white doper. We might see some white dopers over here. Seriously. That's the Safety Act. You can get a 5-year prison sentence. I'm going to say it one more time. And you can be on home confinement. And you don't even, there's home confinement and then there's electronic monitoring. Those are two different. There's one that has an ankle bracelet and one that doesn't have an ankle bracelet. They have different types. That one, that pretrial release, that's no ankle bracelet. And you can be fighting that case for 2-3 years. You can get found guilty. They can give you a 2-3-year, 5-year sentence, and you never spend a day in jail. Yeah, that's the Safety Act.
Going from grade B, I'm all set on the blue line. 09514.
So imagine the criminals. They know this stuff. They know this stuff. So in the old days, I'm not going to say no. In the old days, car theft was 3 to 6. That's what car theft was, 3 to 6 in the old days, right? Yeah, I'm talking back in the 80s. If you stole a car, you got 3 to 6 years. That's what it used to be. It might be more now, I don't know. It's 3 to 6 years. So think about it. And you see some of these cases, whether it's CTA robberies, car thefts, auto thefts, something like that. 3 to 6. I think 3 to 6 is that's the lower felonies, right? So you get busted for a car theft, right? They're not locking you up. You're getting pretrial release because you're not a danger. You're not violent. Because it's not a carjacking, it's a car theft. And that's why they code it sometimes as car theft. So if you listen to the radio, they'll even steal the car while it's running from the gas station, and they'll say it's a car theft, right? They won't call it grand theft. So say you're guilty, right? Say you're on home confinement without an ankle bracelet. You can have that. And you're fighting the case for 2-3 years. Guess what? You don't go to jail. Don't you think the criminals know that?
Yeah, headquarters on Citywide 1.
Don't you think the criminals know that?
Squad, can you put M12 rowing towards the East Lake job on Zone 11 and 24 for the man in the water for 15 minutes, waist deep?
Man in the water. Where at? Where was that? What'd she say? That's a new call that just came in. That's Ramon.
I found it. Okay.
But M12 go in the dive truck. We're going to try to grab a lot of water.
Where's that at?
Okay, step 1.
86 Charlie.
86 Charlie.
You can get one event number on the lower side of Clark and Lake.
Man in the water. Dive team is trying to go get him. Where was that at? What was the location here? Let's listen to that one more time.
095 41 094 73 094 73 7397. Okay.
What time did 7395 call for away? 388 Charlie.
88 Charlie.
Yeah, headquarters on Citywide 1.
Where are you at, headquarters?
Squad, can you put M12 rowing towards the East Lake job on Zone 11 and 24 for the man in the water for 15 minutes, waist deep?
I found it. Okay.
But M12 go in the dive truck. We're going to try to grab a lot of water.
Okay, step 1.
86 Charlie.
86 Charlie.
You can get one event number on the lower side of Clark and Lake.
095 41 095 41.
1533 units and 15 in Citywide getting up for some of the gun 4927 West Quincy 4927 on Quincy. Caller says there's a male black standing outside. They're shooting dice and 2 of them have guns hanging out of their pocket. One's dark skin, has dreads, wearing a black hat, dark jeans, spots on him. The second offender has a black hoodie. Nothing further, Zone 12.
Gambling, the end of the month, man, it's crazy. How many it was?
2383 Charlie. 2383 Charlie.
1533 units and 15 in Citywide getting up for some of the gun 4927 West Quincy 4927 on Quincy. Caller says there's
4755.
4755.
Hey, West Citywide Tina.
Good evening.
86 Charlie.
Yeah, headquarters on Citywide 1.
Where are you at?
1533 units and 15 in Citywide getting up for some of the gun 4927 West Quincy 4927 on Quincy. Caller says there's a male black standing outside. They're shooting dice and 2 of them have guns hanging out of their pocket. One's dark skin, has dreads, wearing a black hat, dark jeans, spots on him. The second offender has a black hoodie. Nothing further, Zone 12.
2383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Yes, Clark, can I get an event for the Red Line 69 station, please?
Take event number 09565 09565.
4755.
4755.
Hey, West Citywide Tina.
Good evening.
So 8 dudes shooting dice, 2 have guns. What do you think is gonna happen tonight if they drink a little liquor and somebody loses too much money? Man, you're gonna have a shootout. A shootout while they're shooting dice. That's kind of, man, that's ridiculous. That might be the title of my article for tomorrow. I don't know what that's gonna be. I think that tomorrow's article we're gonna focus on what Johnny Boom Boom and Marietta talked about today, where we have a Democrat that said if get rid of them now, and we had the MAGA that says, yeah, we need to help them and figure it out, but you need to deport them. I think that we're going to talk about that the misinformation from the corporate media to label people. I think we're going to talk about it while people are shooting dice and hanging out underneath the train tracks doing drugs like you see today, right? Let's see.
Can I get a number for Officer Jackson Red Line?
Sure, take event 095.
Yeah, there's a dude in there.
09584.
There's a drug addict in there. He's in there right there. You want me to show you? There's a drug addict in there, right? There's a lot of cars here, right? Let me show you this. There's a drug addict over there, man. He's hanging out in there, man. And the CTA guy here, I've been here a lot. There used to be a guy that slept in his own pool over here, right there. I'll show you. There's a drug addict right in there, man. Right there, man. You want to see him? White drug addicts. White suburban drug addicts. White doper. They come into downtown sometimes, those white dopers. There, man. He's hanging out right there. He just went behind that screen over there. Oh, he went into the Narcan machine. You see that there? There, he's right by the Narcan machine. Right there. You'll see him. SubX.News over at the Green Line Oak Park Station. A lot of drug addicts over here. He's behind that Narcan machine. That's a Narcan machine there. Right there. That's in the middle of the screen. That's a Narcan machine there. Right there. That's him right there. See him with the cane?
Take event number 095.
Oh, no, there's another guy. That's not the same guy there. That's a different guy there. There's a white dude. That's a different dude.
Second event number, Roosevelt, Orange Line.
That's a different dude there.
Take event.
They might have did some drugs back there already. They might have did the drugs. They do the drugs. Sometimes they do the drugs on that steel counter there. That's where they got a bunch of drugs before.
Good evening. Take event number 09607. 09607.
Is there a parking lot over here? That's not, is that the dude? No, that ain't the dude. There's another dude. There's a white dude there. He might be the dealer there, that guy. He might not be. The white dude might be the dealer. There was a white dude dealing down on Lower Wacker Drive. I showed you guys that, right? You guys remember that one? The white dude dropping off all the drugs to everybody? I talked to him.
Oh, my computer works. 09613. 09613.
73, Adam.
You're cutting yourself out.
There you go, right? See? And you'll see I'm collecting my information. I've been collecting information for a few years now. I'm going to come out with a report. You guys are going to see it's really bad. Two things are happening. People aren't calling anymore because they know nothing's going to happen. It takes time. My dad just showed me some stuff. A guy was messing with him. He's an old guy. My dad's in his 80s. And some guy was messing with him, and he showed me his call log. He called 10 times, and no cops came. So what do you think a business does? They don't call, or you have to go to work. If you get jumped and you got to go to work, where are you going to go? You're going to wait and miss a day's work, or you're going to go, right? What are you going to do? You're going to go to work, and the police report never gets made, right? Or you're going to do what I've seen, I've witnessed. I've been on an armed robbery case. I was there. And the guy says, well, if you do a felony, you're going to have to go to court longer. So the cop talked him out of a felony. The robber got a misdemeanor. And then it gets what? This pre-trial stuff. You don't get locked up. You don't get the ankle bracelet, and you can beat the case. There they are. I think they're doing drugs right behind that machine over there. I think I need to go around the block. Let me see. I think they're doing drugs right by that Narcan machine there.
What's Blue?
Alright, Blue Line where?
LaSalle.
Trying to say LaSalle?
That must.
10-4.
Alright, your radio keeps breaking up or someone's cutting you out. 0962. 0962.
Yeah, 10-4, thank you.
So these are the things that people don't talk about, right? Because they're too obtuse, right? You can't picture it, right? You got the Safety Act, pre-trial, what does that mean, blah, blah, blah. But you just heard it here, right? So somebody did something on the CTA train that warranted, in the old days, he would have got locked up and taken to the station at least, right? And maybe an I-bound on a station. Well, now that don't even happen. So again, there is no deterrence. See, that's the problem. A criminal don't care. A real criminal don't care. He don't care if he goes to jail. He don't care if he goes to prison. He don't care if he gets locked up. He don't care if he don't get locked up. A criminal's a criminal, does criminal activity. Period. Thinking criminals believe in us and they're warm and fuzzy people, that the cartel should show you that. They didn't care. They burned cars. Think about all these car crashes that we witness, and a lot of innocent people die. Those criminals don't care. We just had Figueroa, right? He died. They didn't care. She actually made a joke about it. She laughed about it, saying, come pick up your car. The dude was dead. She was making fun of a dead man. Did you see her? She had a Facebook post. She said, come get your car. Didn't you guys see that one? You don't know that? That lady who killed Figueroa? She put a Facebook post afterwards, come get your car. They killed the man and said, oh yeah, come get your car. It's junky. We don't need it. Why? If she knows she's never going to go to jail for car theft, well, they might get a little more time because of killing them. But I'm going to tell you this, and I don't mean no disrespect to that family there. I hope they get all the justice they can. First of all, they didn't charge their accomplices. That's one first bad move. That's Eileen Burke, right? So she's not doing her job like she says. So you got to be careful for her. She's a liberal. If you think she's tough on crime, you got to be careful with that. So first, she didn't charge the accomplices, right, with murder, which she should have done, right? Oh man, did I just drive over a curb? Oh well. Oops. So they didn't charge the accomplices, right? In that case. They locked her up. She's locked up. But we got to think about that, right? She drove home. I bet you they beat that case down to involuntary manslaughter or accidental death. Because she's going to say, I didn't know he was hanging around. And remember, intentional murder has to have intent. You have to intend to kill somebody. She's going to say, I just stole the car. So her posting that on the internet does two things. And I'm sorry to say this, no disrespect to the family. I'm not pro-criminal. I'm just telling you out of my experience. That Facebook post is going to be used to beat her case. It's going to help to beat her murder case because she's going to say two things. One, I didn't know he died. So if she didn't know he died, they can't prove intent. Because if you intend to kill somebody, you know you killed him or you intended to kill him. So the Facebook post shows what? She didn't intend to kill him because she didn't know he was dead. The second thing about the Facebook post that shows is she wanted to steal the car and not kill him. So if he died in the middle of that stealing the car, it was unintentional and she didn't know about it. So she might get involuntary manslaughter or voluntary manslaughter. Maybe or maybe not. We'll see. But I'm telling you, just the charging documents show there's already cracks in that case. I'm telling you. And it depends on what the video shows, right? So I'm sorry to say that, but that's how our legal system works in Cook County. You can tell because they didn't charge those other two people. It's a weak system still. We have to shore it up. It's not strong as we think. And Eileen Burke isn't what Eileen Burke isn't the savior that people thought. There was a murder, migrant murders. Was it George Levin or the other guy? I think it was George Levin. The guy who got on Grindr and he got killed by two migrants, that happened in January and she was already the prosecutor or something. And no, he got killed in February, but she was already the prosecutor, and they let them go on pretrial release for some auto theft or something. Those migrants that killed George Levin, they tied him up in the basement and killed him. They were let go, and I think Eileen Burke was already the state's attorney. No one's written about that. I need to get the charging documents on that one, see who signed off on that. Who let them out of jail? Because one of them had like a retail theft or a auto theft or something like that. One of those migrants, they should have been held in jail for that offense, but they weren't, because they were migrants. There you go, right? There was a whole big drug encampment right down there at one time, right underneath there.
It'll cost you extra. 09687. 09687.
So those are things that people don't talk. There's no discussion on. There's, oh, I hate it. It's this, it's that. Oh, it's a big case. They let her out like Jaden. But that was more probation, right? Jaden that got stabbed to death by the parolee. Think about this. You got all of these Juliana Strattons and whatever else. All these candidates running. They're all anti-Trump, right? If I was somebody flipping red or blue or whatever, I was running for office, I said, look at this. An 11-year-old, 11-year-old child got stabbed to death by a parolee, and the state system didn't protect the pregnant mother and her family by calling them and telling them that parolee was coming out. And he came out, he went there to kill the mom, and Jaden protected her, and he died. The only thing that happened is a couple of people resigned from their positions, and they got to keep their pensions, and they probably got appointed to other places. But imagine this. If we really had a law and order person, if somebody really wanted to fix our state and protect the victims, we're not talking about a criminal thing where he went and robbed somebody and killed somebody like the Figueroa case. These are two different types of killings, right? Everybody knows that. The Figueroa case was a murder in the commission of a crime, right? The Jaden case, everybody knows the Jaden case, right? The parolee got out, went after the mom who had order protection. The parole board didn't call the family. He went there to kill the mom. The kid protected the mom and got stabbed to death. That's the Jaden case. Those are two different cases. That guy had the intent to kill. He has, that's capital punishment, and in Texas he would get the death penalty, right? Corporal punishment it's called, right? He committed the crime knowing he wanted to do something. So think about this. No state official went to jail for that case. So when we talk about reforming Illinois and if reforming the criminal system, that's your tell. That tells you what I keep saying over in my broadcast. It's not about J.B. Pritzker. It isn't about Juliana Stratton. It isn't about Mendoza. It isn't about Johnson. It isn't about Preckwinkle. Those are what, 4 or 5 people I just named? You remove Preckwinkle, you remove Johnson, guess what? The parole board's still there. DCFS is still there. DCFS, they just had that case where the guy killed his kid. They said they had previous. This was he was a sexual predator. That guy in DeKalb, did you read that story? Killed his kid. Was it 5-year-old or 5-month-old? Killed the kid. Killed his own kid. Sexual predator. He's a sexual predator. Had access to his own child. Killed the child. Beat him so bad. Died. And he went to the hospital to take the kid there to get care. And he tried to run away from the hospital. That's why that happens. Because you still have the DCFS workers. You still have the parole boards. You still have the home monitoring systems. You have all these things in place. It has no bearing, even if we change the law, even if we repeal the Safety Act tomorrow, nothing would change. I just told you about Eileen Burke. She let those guys who killed George Levin, she let them out of jail. The timeline is there. Look at the timeline on his case when he was killed. He was killed in late January, February. She was elected in December. You can say, oh, that's too fast, John. Well, no, it's not. If I'm law and order, I'm going to put out a memo to all the people underneath me and say, I want everybody locked up. If they're a migrant, if he's a migrant, he broke the law, he needs to be locked up, not let out. And there needs to be an ICE detainer on him, meaning he gets shipped out. She didn't do that. And a man died after that. We just had the kid die, and DCFS didn't do nothing to protect the kid, right? See where I'm going with this? We think it's Johnson. We think it's the MAGAs. We think it's Trump. We think it's Preckwinkle. That's all fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's the system. The system is embedded that way. It's created it. Look at what they're doing in Indiana for the Bears. I go to Indiana. We used to go there shop a lot when the kids were growing up. We went to the Costco down on I-65 there. I used to always get my gas. The gas pumps, I forget which exit was it. Was it Klein Avenue there, maybe? That was always below $2. So we used to go to Costco because we had 4 kids, growing kids. We'd even go shopping there for the clothes. I get gas on Klein Avenue was below $2. That was back in the, we're talking about the 2000s now, 20 years ago, right? When my kids were small. So we have a good state that has good tax policies. And now what did they pass today? They want the Bear stadiums. And what's the first thing they say? We're going to raise our taxes of our citizens. That's what was on the news radio today. I don't know if anybody caught that. So you have a worker-friendly, anti-tax state that understands the more people have in their pockets, the more they spend, and the better the state becomes. You go to Indiana, some parts are crappy. Indiana's pretty good, right? Even Gary, it's bad in Gary and in Hammond, but they try their best. There's a few streets in Gary by the Michael Jackson house over there. They got some new street lights and curbs. Hey, they're trying. They're a little corrupt down there, but hey, they're trying. You can see they're trying. They got that hole where they wanted to put the stadium by Wolf Lake. That's all built up there. Once I went off-roading there. I didn't know that was a park. I think they were just building it. And I'm driving around. It was winter, I think. I got a video of it somewhere. And I'm driving, and I said, I think this is a park. And I looked around, and I think a cop came, or the security guy said, what you doing in here? Like, oh, where am I at? He goes, oh, you're in a park. And I said, I didn't see nothing. And I came in through the back way. You know how I drive, right? And he says, yeah, you better get out of here. And I said, well, I didn't see no signs. Well, they're not where I was, right? I went in through like a little hill and stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to make with that long story there is this. Even when you have a state that their philosophy and ideology is what? Less taxes means what? It's better for our citizens. Oh, man, I went too far here. I was going on Madison. Why did I go on Harrison? Why did I turn there? That was messed up. I'm jibber-jabbering. I don't know where the heck I'm going. I got to be in back of me, not in front of me. I'm going the wrong way. Even though you have a state that's pro-citizen, anti-tax like Indiana, right? They're anti-this, they're anti-that. They're right. Indiana's right. They still... Today, in an emergency session without taxpayer approval, without a referendum, you should have a referendum when you do taxation. That's what I believe in. They passed a mega bill to raise their taxes to pay for a stadium, for a private company. See how corrupt the system is? That's corruption. See, you can say it's not corruption. I say it's corruption. Why? If you want to raise the taxes, that should be a referendum. If you want to put if you want to put a red light camera in my neighborhood, you know what that should be? If you truly want to be a super progressive, a real progressive that believes in power to the people stuff, fist up, power to the people, that stuff, the hippie stuff, the real hippie stuff. If you want to believe in power to the people, and you want to put a red light camera in my area, then you should have that on a vote. The people should vote for that. They should vote. We have police councils in Chicago. If you want to be hard on crime, the police council says they should be able to vote for their own areas and say, look, we get the Safety Act, but in our neighborhood we have a lot of gangs, we have a lot of crime. We want our police department to put people in jail to have a deterrence effect. See, if you really had power to the people, that's what would happen. Didn't happen in Indiana today. They passed a bill that's going to tax private citizens to pay for a private stadium without a referendum. We have police councils in Chicago that don't have a right to vote on how the police in their district handles crime. We had a report out here in my district, the 9th district. I think I'm in the 9th. And they said there's a gang war between the Latin counts and the SDs. And it's bad. I hear the sirens all the time. Well, if we want to do power to the people, shouldn't the people say, yeah, I don't want, when you arrest a gangbanger, I don't want him to have pretrial release. I want him to go to jail. And the people should override any kind of weird laws out there, but they don't. Because it's a faked, rigged system. And I don't like saying that because Trump says that one. But that's the truth. It's a rigged system against all of us. This is some radio calls. That's enough talking for me. I talk too much sometimes. But yeah, they just passed tax thing in Indiana to pay for a stadium. That's what they did. Shows you how much they care about the people out there, huh?
Boy or 82 boy?
83 boy. Can I get a number for 79 boy?
That is 09661. 09661.
7385 David.
7385 David.
Good evening. How about a number for 47th Red Line Station, please?
09669. 09669.
7388.
7388.
Can I get a number for a trip mission at Halstead Blue?
09673.
99, thank you. 7397, boy.
7397 boy.
Yeah, another 3 stop to South Blue. 7384 boy.
There's a shooting in this police station here.
09683.
There are 2 people shot in that police parking lot there.
384 boy. Can I get that number?
Anyway, right there in that parking lot, right there. Does everybody know that case? 2 people were shot inside that parking lot. Right there. Inside the police station.
Yeah. The red line, Roosevelt? Okay, sure. 09687. 09687.
384 boy. Sorry.
It'll cost you extra. 09687. 09687.
7383 David.
7388 David.
7383 David. Can I get numbers for the 47th Red Line?
065 boy. Which unit's coming in?
2465.
2465 boy or 4465?
7384 Charlie.
7384.
That number please for the platform by Clark and Lake.
That is 098 09880.
It's Madison Avenue, by the way, if you don't know.
There you go. It's a miracle.
That's so bad.
All right. That event for that call sign is 09887. 09887.
734 Charlie.
734.
Bed number, please, for the platform by Clark and Lake. 734 Charlie.
734.
Bed number, please, for Clark and Lake platform.
09894. 09894.
Pretty quiet on Madison, it looks like. We'll see down a little down here, but it looks pretty quiet out here. We'll listen to the 6:30 news, and then we'll kind of wrap it up, okay? Thanks for everybody watching. I thank for everybody listening. I talked a little bit about some other topics today, which is good, and I think I got on it because of Marietta and Johnny Boom Boom, so thank you for taking my calls today. And look, if you want to call in and talk about something, tell me. I'll give you my phone number. Here, 312. Here. This is my number, 312-203-1534. 312-203-1534. If you want to call in right now, you can call in right now. It's my phone number is public. You know, I don't get this private stuff. We used to have our numbers and addresses in a book in everybody's house. Had everybody's number, everybody's address. So I don't play the hide and seek. If someone wants to come and get me, they know where I'm at. I'm not a hide and seek kind of a guy. You know what I mean? I think everybody figured that one out, right? I don't do good in hide and seek. It's kind of I played it when I was a young man, but it kind of gets boring hiding from the person. I'd rather be in somebody's face. You kind of get it? That way this is what I mean. If I'm hiding, then I'm waiting for somebody to do something to me. If I'm in your face, then I'm doing something to you. That's get where I'm at from. That's what I do. So, if you don't like me, then you're gonna do something to me anyway. So me hiding ain't gonna stop it. It's my philosophy there. I mean, it don't even make no sense. I mean, maybe you gotta hide sometimes if something really, really bad is happening, like Nazis or some crazy stuff, right? Or you can never win, right? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. We're not in those times. I don't think so. All right, let's listen to the news. That's enough of my talking here. 6:30.
57 in from it. Stevenson 37 to 355, 36 back in. The Ryan outbound 23, inbound 18. Next report for the Metro Traffic Center at 6:38 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Abby. And tonight we could expect to be a low of around 32 degrees, but tomorrow it's going to be sunny and a high of 62 degrees with a low of 31. Currently at O'Hare Airport, we're sitting at 40 degrees. Midway's at 41 at the lakefront.
There's somebody sitting there, right? Is that somebody sitting there?
If you need windows,
there's a lot of people out here.
car.
Yeah, there's somebody
We've
sitting
been making
right
windows
there.
in Chicago
Isn't
for
that
over 45 years. Purchase with confidence, backed by our price match guarantee.
That's a girl
Great
there, right?
financing
She's
available.
working.
Visit
It's a hooker.
climateguardwindows.com today to schedule a free in-home estimate. The following is a paid political announcement.
That's a hooker
Stephanie
there.
Kifowit is not your usual controller candidate. She's a Marine veteran and a current Illinois state representative with years of experience fighting waste, fraud, and abuse in Illinois government. Illinois needs a Democratic controller ready on day one to protect taxpayer dollars, stand up to Donald Trump, and get results.
Standing up to Donald Trump, I don't know what that means. They're all saying that in their political ads. It's weird.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
Good evening, I'm Glenn Marshall, and these are the top stories here on News Radio WB.
Oh, man.
Outside to say farewell to the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. The Bears make stadium-related headway, in both Illinois and Indiana.
This is Terry Keschner. A Chicago area family touched by suicide pledges millions to stop cyberbullying.
Plus, former First Lady and Secretary.
You want to see, son, how internet works?
As part of their investigation.
You know where this is at? Everybody knows where this is at? Why don't you look at one of our old videos? That's where we're at here. We videotaped this, and guess what? It's all cleaned up. It works. I'm telling you, it works. This is all dirty here. And mattresses and stuff out here.
The news is sponsored by AdventKnows.com. A large crowd continues to gather at the headquarters of Rainbow Push on Chicago's South Side. That's where the body of Reverend Jesse Jackson will lie in repose for the next 2 days. WBBM's Mike Krauser has more on the celebration of life.
The Reverend Jackson's speeches were playing outside the building as people waited in a long line to get inside. Katanya Stone Wooten among them.
He came to my school, South Shore, in 1976 and 77, and I remember we was all gathered in the auditorium, and when he was saying, "I'm somebody," that really resonated with me all my life. I am somebody. Made me want to inspire. He changed my life, want to work harder. You know, I worked and went to school, got my education, you know, and took care of my family, and he was just such an inspiring person.
Jesse Jackson Jr. said it's a hard day, the first day his mother has seen his father since he died.
There's a spot over there. They do intravenous drugs right there. They shoot up over
their
there.
gratitude for the life that he lived. The Reverend Al Sharpton was here. He said Reverend Jackson raised a generation of us. On the South Side, Mike Krauser, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
And the Chicago Bears say they appreciate votes today in Illinois and Indiana on measures designed to influence the team's plans for its next stadium. In Illinois this afternoon, a state house committee in Springfield advanced a bill to give the Bears and other mega project developers a way to lock in long-term property tax rates on their properties. The sponsor is Chicago State House Democrat Cam Buckner, who
See
says
that
the
dude
proposal
all
would
jacked
benefit
up?
communities across Illinois, but
He was jacked up, man. He had the bends there, that dude. Did you see him all hooked up on the fence? He was like a pretzel, that guy. That guy was messed up, man. He was using the fence to stand up. Man, I'm sorry to laugh, but it's messed up, man. You can almost predict this stuff.
Indiana building a stadium for the Bears. Leaders still have to approve the taxes that would fund the loans for any stadium.
There you go,
A Chicago couple that lost their son to suicide, they're pledging millions in the fight against bullying.
Nate Bronstein attended the prestigious Latin School of Chicago and was the victim of cyberbullying. He committed suicide in 2022. He was 15 years old. Nate's parents, Rose and Rob Bronstein, have already donated $7.8 million to their family foundation's flagship program, Buckets Over Bullying, a nod to Nate's love of basketball. Now the foundation says it will reach a total of $15 million to support an ongoing anti-cyberbullying initiative, with the rest of the money to reach that $15 million mark donated by the end of 2028. Terry Keschner, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
And we're gaining more insight into the 2-day depositions of former President Bill Clinton and former First Lady Hillary Clinton.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has told the House Oversight Committee she had no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes. Clinton and former President Bill Clinton are sitting down for 2 days of depositions in their hometown of Chappaqua, New York. Republican Committee Chairman James Comer says the committee is not singling out the Clintons.
The Democrats voted to subpoena the Clintons. The Democrats voted with the Republicans to hold the Clintons in contempt. So the Democrats have just as many questions for the Clintons.
Several photos of the former president were included in the first batch of released Epstein files, and Maxwell attended Chelsea Clinton's 2010 wedding. I'm Donna Warner.
A high-stakes round of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran was underway in Geneva. It comes as the Trump administration weighs possible military action if no deal is reached on Iran's nuclear program.
There's blue lights ahead of us.
The president was very clear last night that he always prefers diplomacy. But I want you to understand, and everyone should know, that Iran poses a very great threat to the United States and has for a very long time.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Thursday's talks focused on nuclear, but signaled they would eventually have to extend to Iran's ballistic missiles.
They possess these conventional weapons that are solely designed to attack America and attack Americans if they so choose to do so.
Now, the two countries walked away without a deal. Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at the low gas prices. The time now is 6:35.
With all these warmer temperatures, I already moved my snowblower to the...
You got cops out there, right? There's blue lights ahead of me.
And while I was doing that, I had to pause for a moment and just stare.
It's interesting that we didn't see it today because I don't think we hit Michigan Avenue on the north. Did we today? I think I took a different way, didn't I? I don't remember. We've done so much already today. That on Michigan Avenue, you got police standing almost on every corner. And then you come out here where there's crime. There's no cops standing on a corner. Okay? None. You got, once in a while, you have a cop in a hot spot. Right? I told you, there's this new building here, a brand new building, and you got dudes hanging around it. You see that there? They can't go into that new gentrified building. You see that there? See that? That's a new building. That they spend. I should pull the records on that, right? They spend millions and millions of dollars on it, and they can't go in. See that there? That's gentrification for you. It didn't do nothing for those guys. There's a bunch of people out there shooting some dice, right? There you go. Why don't you let them shoot some dice in the building? Get out of the element. That way you're not in the street.
All to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you. While you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
At 6:37, lowest gas prices is sponsored by PackyWebFord.com. Get 3.9 financing for 66 months, plus 1,000 auto show bonus cash on PackyWeb's huge selection of new Broncos, Bronco Sports, and Explorers.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 105.9 WPBM.
In Niles, the BP on Dempster and Greenwood, they have gas for $2.84 per gallon. In Darien, the Speedway on Cass at 75th, selling gas for $2.59 per gallon. If you see a low gas price, please give us a call at 312-409-4277. The time now is 6:38. Traffic and weather together.
Check 6 are in the red.
09744.
What's that truck doing there in the middle of the road? There you go, man. There you go. There you go.
83 Charlie.
7386 Charlie.
There you go. Madison and Pulaski.
I'm sorry, what do you need now?
That number for lunch.
Your lunch or your personal? You came up for your personal. Okay, do you want your personal to be your lunch? Alright, just go with 9655. 9655.
There's a bender over there.
I can copy.
Man, it's getting hot out here.
Is that 7384, David.
You don't go down Springfield, man. That's a bad street there.
09770.
4754. Slowly.
Oh, yikes. 4754.
Show me clear as positive.
And 4 heavy clear.
I'm at Hamlin and Madison now, by Garfield Park, in the middle of it.
Whichever one, what you need?
It's also down for match at 4849 North Milwaukee.
Sounds enchanting. 09782. 09782.
4712.
4712.
Good evening, squad. I'll be down at the ball game.
I'm sorry, where are you at?
It's the Bulls game.
Ah, at the Bulls game. Alrighty. That event is 08355, I believe. 08355.
7386 boy.
7386 boy.
Get a number for lower Jackson and red light.
09791. 09791.
7386 David.
7386 David.
Squad, can we get a platform check? Red line, Chicago State.
So it's 6:40 p.m. We've been on for a little while. I got on at 4 o'clock today, so we've been on the air for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I did a lot of talking. We've seen a lot of things. What it's looking like is there's spurts of violence, and there's no crime prevention. Today we talked a little bit about the Safety Act. We talked about prevention. We had a good talk with two of our viewers, our contributors, Johnny Boom Boom and Marietta James. Two technically opposite politics, but technically the same. They talk the same, but they are labeled differently. So we deal with crime on a daily basis, and people point to each other, and yet they don't do nothing to fix it except blame each other. And the biggest thing I think that we talked about today is, besides the Safety Act, is this. We had at least 5 young black men get shot last night. 5, at least. I think there was more through the day. 5 in one incident. They still separated. They said it was 4 and 1. It was 5. It was all 5 together. Just the other guy was on another block. I know that area. I've been down on Blackstone, and I know exactly. I used to teach down there on 63rd and Stony. I used to be a teacher at Hyde Park Hurricane. I know that block. I know that area. I know that very well. I was there for a homicide in a car. Right? That's on Blackstone, 66, right back there, right? Is what I got to say. There was no protests. There was no statements. There was no school walkouts organized. There was no activism from the progressive, left-leaning politicians to say enough is enough. That's too many black young men getting shot. Where are they getting those guns from? Why are they shooting at each other? There was no kinds of statements or activity like that. We have a bunch of commercials that talk about anti-Trump and this and that, and I stood up to him. I stood up to him. He's the president. Why don't you stand up to a gangbanger? Why don't you stand up to a drug dealer? Why don't you help that lady? We did a video about a lady on a CTA stand where it said, we help her. I said, you help her sleep on the CTA stand. You didn't take her to your house. We have all these politicians. We have all these people that say they're pro-social justice. They're pro-civil rights. And on this day, when our brother, Reverend Jesse Jackson, is laying in repose, you could have at least made that statement and said, look, there's too many black people that are getting shot. There's too many black people that are dying. And in honor of his name, I'm going to do something about it, because that's what he used to do. That's what Reverend Jackson used to do. He would take an event and he would mobilize it to an advocacy issue. He could do that. He was good at that. That's why people don't like him, because he knew how to do that. He grew up in that era. He was trained by Martin Luther King Jr. He understood what needed to be done to get action done. That's why some people didn't like that man, because he knew what he needed to get. And he wasn't a la-di-da, idealistic guy, and I want world peace guy, which he did. He even released prisoners. Remember, Jesse Jackson went and got prisoners before. He was a peace envoy at one time. Remember those days? Yeah, he did good stuff, that guy. But why people don't like Reverend Jackson, and God rest his soul, is because he got things. He said, I want this. I don't want your promises. I don't want your fakeness. I don't want your ideology. I want 10 jobs. I want that guy released. I want that stopped. That's what he did. That's why people don't like him. Did you know, and I'll end with this, that the Chicago Teachers Union, we were embargoed from dealing with Operation Push because of Stacey Davis Gates and Brandon Johnson? That's a fact. See, I used to work at Operation Push. That's where I got into the union, because I was organizing people there. I was using Operation Push. It wasn't through the teachers union. It was on my own with Antoinette Barnes and Rosita Chitanda. Me and 2 black women were at Operation Push for almost 2 years organizing, maybe 3 years organizing, from about 08, 09 to about 10 and 11. I was there every Tuesday or every Thursday. I got to look at my notes every day, every week. Every week I was there organizing for 2 to 3 years. So I know Operation Push. I know Reverend Jackson, and I know what he stood for. And I'm going to tell you this. The union, when we were there, they said, you can't do that no more. And they didn't let us talk to that organization because they were oppositional. Because they're People's Liberation Party. They don't believe in anybody else to have power. And the reason why I finished that with Reverend Jesse Jackson is this. That's the way we got to be. We got to be like a guy who knows what's wrong, but understands that you have to ask for things that you can get. I want 10 jobs. I want him out of jail. I want you to fire. You know, he was part of it. You know why Gary McCarthy, the superintendent of police, got fired? It was because of Reverend Jesse Jackson Jr. Senior, sorry. It's because of him. Because he had the Black Friday protests. That was Laquan McDonald stuff, wasn't it? You guys remember that, or you don't remember that? I remember that stuff. I was part of that stuff. And a cover-up, 16 shots. Everybody knows 16 shots? Shooting a kid on the ground? They shot a kid on the ground, 16 shots. And you could have shot him once. Maybe that would have been all right. Maybe twice. You're shooting a guy 16 times, he's laying on the ground. That's a little excessive. Van Dyke went to prison for that. Gary McCarthy lost his job because Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., he was doing Black Friday protests over in Mag Mile. Sunday night, Rahm said, oh, McCarthy's my guy. McCarthy's my guy. I ain't firing him. He's my guy. Someone called Rahm Emanuel Sunday night, because that was the shopping season. This Reverend Jackson said what? I want him gone. Rahm kept saying, no, I ain't firing him. You know what happened Monday morning? Gary McCarthy was fired. That's a man that can get things done. That's a real man. That's a real man. Whether you like his politics or not. That's a real man that knows what's right, that knows what's wrong, and knows how to get things done in a bad system that harms people, especially poor people. And he understood that. I'm going to sign off with that. It's 6:50 p.m. I did a lot of talking today. Sometimes I get that way. I'm a little tired. I've only got about 2 or 3 hours of sleep today, so I'm going to go take a nap for a few hours, and then maybe I'll do a little bit of my writing a little later on. I appreciate everybody watching, and let's think about that. What would Reverend Jackson do when 5 black young men were shot up the night before he was supposed to be laid in repose? You'd probably do something about that, but no one is. No one is. So let's think about how he did things and start thinking about that way. And whatever it may be, whether you're a MAGA, whether you're a liberal, you're Antifas, your Tea Partiers, Republican, environmentalists, or whatever. And let's stop being fake. Let's stop playing games. And let's start fixing our country. Whatever way you want to fix it, I could care less. I don't care. And let's fix it. As you heard today, we had 2 different types of people on our phone. We had one that was Republican, one that was Democrat. And they both have the same ideas. They both want to fix our country. They both want to fix our country. Just like Reverend Jackson Sr. He wanted to fix what was going on with black people. He understood that, right? And he did things to fix it. So let's do that, right? I'm going to leave it with that. That's all I have. It's 6:51 p.m., February 26, 2026. Happy birthday, Mom. It's my mom's birthday today. She's 79. So happy birthday to my mom. I gave her a nice long call. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you, all right? Thanks for doing a good job with me. I appreciate you. Everybody, thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody. Have a good night. I'm signing off. I'm a little getting worried and dizzy, and I'm starting to talk too much. That means I'm too tired. Take it easy, everybody. I love everybody. Thanks for watching.